Man, every time I hear that, it make me know that I need to just get back, even just like kind of on my own and just start chopping. I ain't chopped
Yeah.
in a while, right?
Oh man,
I got a lot of stuff in the chamber, but I ain't
Ooh, I
chopped
miss
in a
that.
while. Just on some chill with it. You know, it ain't like
Yeah.
yo, I'm
Now
about
I'm
to
with
drop
you.
this mixtape, but it's
Yep.
like just to do it, man,
Just
because
the
that's some of
chop.
the
I
just
love.
hearing
Ooh,
that, like just
man, the
hearing that,
chop.
like
Boy. Ooh, I
ain't
love
nothing.
the
The
chop, boy.
chopping is fun,
Ain't
man.
nothing like a
Like
good chop, boy. When
ain't
you,
nothing like catching
yeah,
that one
man.
situation, and then like I hear so much stuff during the day, even if it's just like regular from a movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I sit here and do it all the time, just in my mind, right?
Yep.
In my
Yeah.
mind, I
Yeah.
chop all the time,
Yeah.
right? In my
Oh yeah.
mind, I
Yeah.
chop all the time.
Yeah. I hear loops all the
But
time. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that because and every time I hear that, because I was doing something, I chopped, I put up a short for us, and I had the music playing on the bottom,
Yeah. That was dope. I like
and
that. I meant
but
to
I
look
had to
up.
like re-loop it a couple more times, just like to go over, get it for
Yep.
that minute, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need to catch me a little sample and,
That's the one.
just to do it, like no, nothing, but
Yeah.
just to do it. Plus, I follow a bunch of these things on the ground where they be like sample Bible. Sample Bible is pretty dope.
Mm.
There's a couple other ones like that. I was doing that on Twitter for a while. Twitter weird now, right? But like not
Yeah.
even just the navigation of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's like looking at MapQuest or something back in the day. It's just like weird right now. But like
Say Elon got that all of them.
yeah, but
Kind
even
of
before
crazy.
Elon though, it was just
Yeah.
like what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just was weird about Twitter. Like I never fully grasped Twitter like that, but with Gramify, I feel like I got
So,
I say all that to say, like I follow they'll show something like this was the song, and then the beat or whatever, and this, that, and the third. And sometimes your favorite producers, whoever made it at the time, they'd be like, yes, thanks for showing love or whatever. But then I hear something, I'm like, man, I need to and you gotta think how easy it is to pull something up now, whereas like before you had to go you had to go find something, right? I'm from the you had the crate era. I'm
yep.
from the go. I had crates, but then I was also you go to the library and let you check out some CDs, right?
Yeah,
Check the
man.
CDs right from the library.
Yeah.
You go pull the CD, and then you just chop and you get those too, and just get a build an archive. But at the end of the day, I still got a bunch of that stuff, and I still got a bunch of stuff. But I think I need to go ahead put a
This
couple melodies together.
this setup we got right here, this would be a great way to just converse about like while we're doing that shit live. Like nigga,
Yeah,
you can in real time show me what you got. Like damn,
yeah.
pause and shit. But
No, for real. No,
but
for
yeah,
real.
like where you can we got to do that, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Man.
for real. That's actually you got my head, you got my mind going right now.
Yeah,
That's
we
kind
want
of
to do,
dope.
yeah, we want to do that.
But seemed like it was so forever. You see what's in the background. I'm going here and talk about the Flash movie.
Finally, man.
Worlds
Woo!
Collide.
We finally get this movie. Yeah.
It's like forever ago we talked about it, and then all of a sudden it was like you blink, and we always say that when we first get a trailer or something like,
Right.
man, it seemed like that's so far away, but you blink and then it's here. That's what happened. Like I think the trailer came out like Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Was it the Super Bowl when we first got
February.
something?
Yep. Yeah.
Next thing you
Finally
know,
got
it's
that trailer reveal, yeah.
next thing you know, it was. I looked up and I'm like, oh snap! I'm going to go see the movie tomorrow. Like,
It was here, yeah.
I know we had talked offline a couple of times where it was like, okay, I went from like when it first came out, just through the roof level anticipation, to about the time it was coming out, it was like, it's whatever now. Like I had dropped, so I probably had dropped some low. Like I don't know what that was. Like you could do a whole thing about what that might be about, because I don't know if I would have did that with anything else. Is it just because it was DC for me, right? Because DC like hasn't, DC of it all hasn't really come through, right? So it was like, is it the DC part of it? Is it just some of the other things that came out? I don't know, but I just know I didn't have the interest walking in that I had when the trailer came out in February. And you said you saw it. You saw it on the release, right?
I saw it yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it on the release. It was a movie. We know where we going in. They've done several iterations of it, right? They have the comic book iteration, and they had a really dope animated. Yeah. Well, it was really a couple. They had the comic book iteration. Yeah. They had the TV show iteration, right? That they did where they incorporated Flashpoint from the Flash slow. It wasn't a Flashpoint direct because there was a lot of things going with their kind of like interconnected universe. They had a play of some flashpoints on it from that whatever season it was of Flash, where he went back and saved his mom's and he was living in that world. And then it impacted their crossover event with Supergirl and Arrow and all them. But then you have the one that's really dope. I'm not saying the comic one dope, but like the really recent dope one was that animated movie.
Yeah, right. Flashpoint movies are great.
But it's not the first Flashpoint kind of adaptation.
No.
And that video game one, I meant the video game, but the movie, the cartoon, the one that's on HBO Max, or it's the Max now, was so like the bar is high. The bar is high, man.
Very high.
Like it's been some good ones. So and that's basically what it was. We go into a movie where he was trying to we knew
that was the plot, right?
Because we had the situation where they got right to it. His father had the trial coming up. They tried to have the evidence, and spoilers. It's full spoilers for anybody.
Full spoilers.
Watch this video. Yeah. We talking about the movie. We're not leaving anything
going in
behind the curtain.
Yeah, we ain't holding
anything behind the curtain. But with we start, his father's going to trial. Bruce has been trying to help the Flash in terms of like they got some old convenience store footage of trying to show like the alibi that his father wasn't home when it happened, when the murder of his mom's, and they couldn't. And Bruce was like, I couldn't show you this, that, and the third. There's nothing there. There's no. We can't get anything. We tried our best with this footage. So we got Barry trying to go to court. We about to get ready for this case, and that's what's making them think about. And they reference. We talked about this. We referenced the Justice League happened because they didn't do that in the Justice League. The Justice League happened right in this movie, meaning that moment where he went kind of a second back in time.
That shit happened.
It happened.
Yes, it happened.
That's all I asked, bro. That's all I asked, man.
Yes.
That's all
because what was the original ending, real quick? It was the Justice League ending. Justice League was
there was no problem in him.
They just beat
hit the thing and they brought Superman back to life.
Damn, you're right about that, man. I mean, I thought I knew that, but it's like I ain't really think about it. Yeah, you're right.
It just went through. There was no. So that was such a small part, but that was like a bookmark moment when you watched the Justice League, the Snyder cut. Was that for that when that what was it called? What was the box called? Those boxes.
The mother box.
The mother box.
It was called the mother box, right?
The mother box. Well, the mother box. I'm about to say motherboard. When the mother box dropped and they was trying to bring Kal-El back to life, he missed the time at first.
Yep.
And Barry went back a second.
He realized that he can go back. Yeah.
Wow. He went back a second so he can time it right. And that was loud because then when he didn't, I think in the Justice League, when he missed it, the Snyder cut, when he missed it, they had like a whole scene where like the world was ending and it was like it was all bad. Barry went back.
Yeah, he the mother box exploded and destroyed. Yeah.
It was all bad. He went back, and so that made him realize, like, I think I can go back and change everything. I can go. He tried to sweeten the deal with Batfleck, like, hey man, I could save your parents too. Because all he needed was a cosign.
Yep.
Save your parents. So that's what the baseline of the movie was, like, just kind of he was going to go back and he was wanting to save his. He thought he had a way that if I just had my mom's because our mom's he couldn't get the alibi for his father because his father was going to go get the tomato soup, right? The tomato soup for whatever they was about to eat, the pasta, whatever, spaghetti, whatever, about to eat something. And if his mom's had got the right, if she didn't forget the pasta, right, none of this would have happened, right? None of this would have happened. But because she forgot the pasta, father left, this, that, and the third. He go try to change all that. But there's for me, it was Savitar. And I don't know if that's a comic book name.
I knew it right. Yeah, I was like, oh,
some people were saying Dark Flash. To me, it's Savitar. Like, I don't know if that's
what I thought it was.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
it's Savitar to me.
I just thought it was.
So you thought the same thing?
I started at first. I was like, that's Savitar. I was like, damn, Savitar the villain.
Flash.
But I was like, no, I mean, through the movie, we find out that it's Barry. You know what I mean? It's just it's his version that kept going.
Oh, so
wait a minute, but
you
you're right.
No, you might educate
you educate me because I think you followed the Flash show way more than me. So so I'm asking you.
I'm only missing the last season.
But you watched the Savitar season more than me. I think you did. Because I remember we kind of chopped it up on it. So wait a minute, educate me now. So Savitar's identity was
Flash.
You saying that it was Barry? Okay.
It was Barry.
Okay. Okay, because
I just saw some people on the net call him Dark Flash.
Okay,
I was
got
like,
you. All right,
maybe that's his real name. I just know the CW show called him Savitar.
The big bulky dude that was fast.
Because the year before in the season to defeat another universe's Barry Allen, or it might have been another universe's Jay Garrick. I can't remember. But he had the Jay Garrick kind of uniform. At the end of the day, to defeat him, because he couldn't beat him. He couldn't beat him. Run, Barry, run. He couldn't beat him. So he had to get like remnants of Barry. He would when if he was run, he can adapt to the Speed Force and get different. He would have these Barry Allen remnants.
Okay.
But they was there to be cannon fodder to get killed because they was like something would happen and they would take all those L's so that our Barry Allen didn't take it.
Yeah.
So he could basically win. One survived, and that one became went back in the Speed Force with Savitar. He was coming from the future. He could see all the things he didn't want, and then so he was kind of like it. What definitely wasn't the same plot line.
That's what I thought.
It was a version of him, but for us in the movie that we saw, it was actually the younger version of him that he went back and seen because at the end of the day,
because you saw it happening,
the younger version was still trying to save the mother. He fell back into that because if the real Barry, our Barry, went back, that means the mother died, and the younger Barry had found that out because he was listening. He was like, "Well, I can't, I'm gonna lose my mom. What I'm not gonna do is not have that happen." And all the other stuff that was happening during the movie, right? Like we can keep going back and try to correct this. We can keep going back and kind of correct this. That end up being that.
Yeah,
but
that was wild.
But so that was just basically kind of the plot line. Like he went back, ran into his younger self. He got knocked out by Savitar, Dark Barry, and he ended up in the timeline where his mother was alive, but it also it was the younger Barry right before he got the accident that made him become the fastest man on Earth before he became the Flash. How did that? Okay, so how are we gonna get to the point with Zod? It was like, oh no, this was all at the same time. I got my powers right when Zod was
right before that shit
happened. And I was there. I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. Because that could have been corny, right?
He up in the air with the kid. I'm like, damn.
Oh, Barry was there too. I thought that was dope. For me, this is how they can always get me with anything is when Batman show up, right? And how you can always get me is I know some people didn't like. I was seeing some stuff.
Yeah,
I see Ben Affleck Batman. Any fallacies I see in there, okay, I didn't notice it because that's my favorite one. My favorite Bruce Wayne. Maybe my favorite Batman altogether.
That's my favorite Batman. Yeah,
that's my favorite. Makes me sad too that they had all that and they messed all that up. Like, how did you mess that up? But him in the beginning, and like, oh, okay, and we get to the money. Like Batman show, I'm out to text
right.
Oh, okay, he got the suit. He got the and Alfred talking. It was a nice introduction of having and also I knew he wasn't gonna be in there a lot, but like it felt like it was a good moment that he was in there, right? It felt like it was a good moment. Yeah. That boy Bruce, my boy Flash, like, man, I'm basically here to be Batman's janitor out here. I'm cleaning up his little mess. Like he's sunning me too. Because Bruce, hey man, Bruce sunning him. Hey man,
Bruce will sun you. Yeah. You son all of them.
You make sure that people don't fall. Man, it gets a gas leak. It's a gas leak, man. That whole first act, for me, it was still like Snyderverse-esque too, right? They pay homage to the Snyderverse.
Oh, big time.
And dude said he talked to him.
Did he talk to Snyder? Muschietti?
Talked to Snyder.
Okay.
Yeah, he talked to Snyder because they knew they was gonna go basically until Man of Steel again, right? There was it was heavily influenced by Man of Steel.
Oh, he lives in that movie, right? So he had to talk.
It was heavily influenced by Man of Steel, and he wanted to talk to Snyder, and Snyder gave him this, whatever. I don't know how true that part is. Snyder might have said "F you." We all know, but like to that point, Snyder gave him what he needed to get. Like, hey, we're gonna do this A, B, C, and D. But that whole interaction, and I like Alfred. I just like that, man. I just like that. Like, so I'm a sucker for that. It might have been terrible. You could tell me that was a terrible scene. It was over this and it was over that. Hey, man,
I loved it.
That's what I liked, and I liked every moment, every part of that. When they had kind of always the Snyder influence, minus the Justice League. And I don't want to get into a shit on the Justice League. We've done enough of that. The world has done enough of that. but all the Snyder stuff, right? And when all of them playing their parts, and it's bats. I mean, what I'm gonna do, man? He got the cycle. You know what I'm saying? They like they chasing his kind of like criminal.
Yeah.
His new suit was on, man.
And then we get.
Let me stop.
Because the whole thing is a chase. He's chasing them through Gotham because you just realize that Batman is saying, "Hey, look, Barry, just kind of clean up everything. Just make sure these babies." He didn't even know, but he's just like, "Hey, just take her to the hospital. I'm gonna go after the villain." And it was something about like
and very mad hungry. Like he he got the Apple Watch situation. It's letting him know like.
Barry start off in the coffee shop, right? In the coffee shop, and he's trying to rush old boy.
No girl,
man, hurry up! I got it. Where my girl at, man? A curly hair girl she usually got my PB&J ready, man. And,
he got me ready.
Dude, like he on some. You can't rush to get a sandwich. Just hold on. So he's talking about his sister.
That noise.
He showing him his back. He mom my back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and, he going on about his sister, and he Barry like, you know what? Barry basically, step into the bathroom, change after he get the call from the
I thought Barry was going to actually go back there and make the sandwich, but Alfred started talking to him.
I
thought what he about to do was hit the button and go make the sandwich. But Alfred was like, man, you got to go. We need you over here.
Batman basically lay down his authority like, hey, now, bro, I need you yesterday. You know what I mean? So, Barry's so damn fast that literally it's happening in real time. Barry, to them people, they seeing like he just stepped away maybe for like 15 minutes. What we seeing is what seemed like a 30 to 45 minute him saving these babies falling out of a hospital, which is weird. Like that they would be up that high, but again, and this is where
set the scene, right?
This is where we get into. This is the beginning of one of the many imperfections of this movie. I
think we should say that off the top, right?
We can say that
wasn't perfect.
Oh no,
it wasn't perfect at all.
Just like any Snyder, just like the Snyder version as a whole,
But
this is CGI
people were saying like the people that was, and that shit that people were saying in hey, it's like the best comic book movie ever, and it's the best. This like, y'all doing this shit a disservice because it's not that.
It's not that.
It's not perfect. So don't go in thinking it's perfect. It's not a perfect movie, man, at all.
But it's like when you say that, you're speaking to the how much heart this movie got, right? Like this movie got a lot of heart, and it got a lot of it's
an awful lot of heart, right?
It got an awful lot of heart, and you're being kind when you say that, but that's not what it is, because it's not. It can't be that because it's so imperfect, and it's so much that you gotta you would have to look past to say something like that. But in terms of the spirit of the movie, the heart of the movie, it's very much a superhero movie that works. But they had to, man, you could, and I'm guessing that the CGI fest, a lot of that is due to the fact that there was a lot of reshoots, and I think they kind of just padded that stuff on. Because this is CGI fest, bro.
Did you see that shit? The director said it was like, well, the CGI looked at that because it's from the perspective of Barry Allen, who's running fast, and there's a distorted view. There's just a lot of bad CGI.
It's damn near
a lot of CGI, and it's a lot of bad CGI. It just is, man. So let's let that go.
Let's go ahead and ask for
It's in the trailer though, but it's in the trailer. Like some of that shit is bad.
It is. So it is. I mean, you gotta be able to get past that to get to the heart. Like I said. It got a lot of heart at its core. It has very good intention, but it is a CGI dump fest, where it's just CGI everything. It's damn near an animated movie. You know what I mean? Like very
animated movie. Even some of those. I mean, even the everything was. I bet you they did this whole thing on a blue or green screen.
Oh man,
nothing.
Every time you see Barry standing there, the suit. I'm pretty sure that suit is CGI.
The suit was CGI.
It has to be. And all the backgrounds look CGI. It looks
like when they was outside in that park. The park was CG.
It was
right before they went into the area was
all of it.
So they was in a bunch of it was all screen.
All this was done on a stage.
They literally did not go outside until they clocked out.
No. It might have been a few scenes where they walking around where that was wherever they filmed that, but yeah, you're right, B. This was all done on a sound stage with a blue screen in the back or green screen, whatever, blue screen. And it's just it. You just gotta kind of if that's gonna hurt you. You said what?
They didn't use the volume. It was scream, bro.
Oh man. So yeah, that's
the one of the things is though with that is the trailer that that. It wasn't none of that shit was like it was never like the trailer was polished where it was like for me where I walked in and I like if I wanted to empty my clip right now and talk about the CGI as a thing, then I've been having that since February. Right. Yeah. I've been having that since March. Like I've been having that because the trailers look like that. I can tell that. Yeah. So like I'm not gonna use that as a thing. It's just going in. Anybody that see it that hasn't seen CGI is just like whatever you like in the trailer is what you're gonna see in the thing. It's a lot of the entire movie.
But again, where we at? So with all the CGI, it's still okay. You still can follow it. He goes into full flash freezing time. I'm moving faster than the speed of light mode. Well, he almost is. Where he's everything's in slow motion. Like you said, he grabbing snacks and he eating the snacks.
Oh,
it's a funny scene in there where it looked like he about to aim something to like catch the baby, and he actually reach out and grab like a candy, like a payday or something. Like
when he went into the vending machine.
Yeah,
I ain't even seen that vending machine.
I'm like, oh, he about to get the baby. No, he goes for he like, nah, I got to get these snacks first. And it was cool
because the situation was telling him like he was in a tragic moment. Like, hey man, and if you're not gonna make it.
Right. If you watch, it's almost like he goes even faster, I guess, because it slows down even more for him to get the snacks where he and it's almost like you see like a flicker and like the color kind of change, like the tint or whatever, the filter, whatever kind of change, and you like, oh, yeah. And he kind of like, I gotta get these snacks first, bro. I'm burning up. So he started eating snacks. He saves all the babies. He saved the girl who full CGI, by the way. He saved the woman, the nurse or whatever, and he land everything, and he, the building collapses, but he land everything, and it's like a bunch of stuff happening.
The dog and all that.
Yeah, he saved the dog, man.
Put a baby in a microwave.
That
was wild.
That baby in that microwave I was like, that's wild now. Chill, you know what I mean? It was CGI baby though, you know what I mean?
They wasn't trying, and they did in that movie. So if I try to jump on, they didn't try to let you know it was real. But this is not a grounded movie.
But but this is one thing I will say about why the CGI is not as big of a problem. The movie never takes itself that serious.
Exactly.
It's not like we're gonna get Snyder his flowers later. But I'm just saying, where they would knock Snyder is like, man, you got this super serious tone, but some of the CGI be looking goofy.
Yeah, here.
Wasn't the case in Flash. Like Flash never took itself so serious where you was looking at the CGI like that. It was always like, oh nah, I mean, bro, they not even trying,
To the CGI, like I'm not gonna like that shit was astronomical in the damn. We're gonna get to that when they went into the Speed Force and then they started seeing like the different worlds colliding. That was all, but like that made sense right there. That made sense right there. Even though it was like a lot of that shit, like they did a storyboard for themselves that I wasn't about to bitch about it.
No,
I'm not gonna make that a thing. And I didn't do that with Guardians of the Galaxy. Whereas for another movie, I would have. It was like, well, y'all, like you say with the Snyder, taking yourself too serious for all that shit. You need to go outside once and film.
Yeah, like chill out, bro. Like
some of that shit could be filmed outside.
Though you're Doomsday, bro. Like
build a set.
Just too serious. You know what I mean? Like come on, man, chill out. But yeah, like you said. So where we at? We get to the point where Barry, like you said, the trial. We start getting into the plot of a Flashpoint plot where he started realizing he gotta come back to his real life. By the way, we had a guest. We had another cameo in here that we kind of saw coming, but I was like, man, it just again, this was like, who did we see that came in, man? She saved the day a little bit.
Saw Gal. We saw Wonder Woman. We saw Diana.
Yeah.
And because Barry had been naming everybody like, come on, I'm trying to get this sandwich. I'm hungry as hell. I need to get my metabolism right. I gotta get these calories right. And like, what about Diana? Man, we can't get in touch with her. Hey man, what about Aquaman? What about Soups? They name everybody.
They didn't show Soups
trying to like go get some volcano he was putting out. Like,
he doing something with a volcano.
He was saving a volcano. They can't get in touch or whatever they said about what's Aquaman name? I always forget his name. They couldn't get Cyborg. They couldn't get none of them. In true typical Batman villain fashion, They trying to steal some chemicals where they can do something that's gonna take out half the population, right? Batman always have some crazy regular villains, right? They not no super Howard, but they always try to do something that can destroy the public. They don't just want power. They want to make a.
They want to destroy Gotham. You're right. It's always blow up Gotham. I want to blow it up.
So they about to spin it, and then he's holding on to the he done, you know, in typical Bats, they done threw him out the truck. He done grappled up. They hanging about to fall in the Gotham River, and like, hey, if this shit drop,
it's over.
You're already gonna lose half the population.
Alfred told him like by lunch, everybody dead. You know, lo and behold, here we go. That gold lasso.
I was like,
yeah. And then she show up. They do the comedy.
You know how I feel about it. You know how I feel about it. You know, without getting too pervy. You know how I feel about her anyway. And
they show up.
It was just another. It was just another example, man. When they was all together. That's first thing, and we don't get too deep in it. Where I was just like, God, they had a roster for what they was doing. That they just. Man. That's why you gotta have it. That's why hey man, it's just like sports, man. No matter how many dope players you got, bro. Like your foundation got to be right. Your front office got to be on point. Your system got to be right so that you can let these people that you have show out. But if you got a weak foundation, man, like people who got more structure and all that gonna be able to, because they're gonna have principles that they be able to fall back on in these situations.
Yeah,
you're not Brooklyn Nets, right? Like y'all foundation was so trash that y'all couldn't take advantage of what y'all had, even though y'all probably had the best kind of talent possible. And you look at when I see them together, I was like, damn, they got like for what they was doing, they had a dope Batman, they had a dope Wonder Woman, they had a dope Flash, they had a dope Superman. And that was like the first kind of inkling right there. Just seeing her and seeing them all together was like, damn, man. It's over.
Yeah.
It's really over. Like,
it's over,
really I ain't trying to overhype it. It was just like I had that instant moment. That's what outside of looking at her, like, God dang, she fine. And she only had a bit part in it, right? I knew it was coming. I feel like I knew it was going to happen.
You knew it was coming. Right? You just didn't know when.
I don't know if it was going to be later. Yeah. I don't know when I thought how they was going to do it.
And you definitely can see. Then there was a part that the way they showed,
and I didn't mean to cut you, but like, it was a part that it was a moment where I actually thought she was going to get more because how much Bruce got more than I thought. Like Ben Affleck got more than I thought. I know he probably was only in the movie for 15 minutes. I don't know. But I feel like he got way more than I thought he was going to. I actually thought he was only going to get that last little.
He was going to show up paycheck in this one. He was in it.
He was like, because I was one like when I seen him and J-Lo at the premiere, I was like, oh no, he in it.
He in this, yeah.
Because they was at the
great job too.
The pictures like we at the thing like, oh no, he in it. So that should have been my first inkling like, oh no, he for in it. But yeah, when Gal showed up or Diana show up, she got the lasso. Then you know Bruce started selling some truths that he didn't really want to tell because the lasso was on him and all this and all that.
Barry said some stuff,
and Barry said a couple things, but then we get to that point that we seen in the trailer where like they both sitting outside. Bruce then drove Barry home or whatever, and he like, hey man, I went back in time when I went to save to bring back Superman. I went back in time. I think I could do that for real. And I can save my moms. Bruce trying to tell him like, hey man, it's the scars that make you, man. It's the scars that make you who you are, right? Like you could mess up everything, not something, everything. And
Bruce knew it was a bad idea.
He was cool. I think this was right before too. This might have been before or after. This was before. No, this definitely was after because they went to court. Like when Barry had finally went to work, and then Irish West show up, and she's trying to ask some questions and get in this little business, and he don't want to say nothing. But she showed back up right when him and Bruce get done talking, and she was like, she said the little part about like they go get a drink in the crib, right? She come up to his crib and get a drink. The West of it all was kind of weird. It was like I didn't see any like okay, she always like what made her, but that was weird. That was weird.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what to say. But I just didn't like it didn't fit.
Right.
And maybe it didn't fit because of the TV show. Because if I had a TV show where it was like we knew their whole history, they had a whole big crush and all that. Because she just rolled up on him like let's go up in your crib and get a drink. Like,
yeah, I was trying to figure out her angle. Like, was she
I didn't
like setting him up for something? I know she was a reporter, which was also weird. Like, I don't remember her being a. She was like she's a writer in the show,
TV
right?
show.
Okay,
she was a journalist in the TV show.
Okay,
but there was like a history already built in because he grew up with her and all this and all that.
Yeah,
he hadn't seen her since college. In this
movie,
he hadn't seen her since college, but she just was like showed up at his crib outside, like you say, with this, because I was thinking like she gotta have an angle. Like, is she trying to get some new? Like, it just and maybe they cut a lot of scenes out, right? And like when they were trying to do some things and for the pacing.
I would love to see a director's cut. You're right.
So it didn't really matter in the movie either. So when like it didn't matter whether she was in it or not. The only thing she provided the fact that he had that part where he could think to himself like, "Yo, this is what I can do. I can't." He figured for himself. He found the way to go back in time and not mess anything up, right? Because that's what Bruce was trying to tell him. Like, man, you can step on a blade of grass, you can do this, you can do that, right? And you can totally change everything, right? But he felt like he found a way. If I go, like, they couldn't see my father's face, but if my moms don't forget the tomato sauce and the spaghetti sauce in the first place, then we don't even have the situation.
He don't leave the house, and then mom's never left by herself. She don't get murdered because dad is there.
Yep.
So,
because that was a loophole he thought he had. They went right into it. He went right into it, and from the jump, you see mission accomplished in terms of Mom Dukes is alive. That's like the first thing he do is go in the house. Well, right before that. Mission wasn't accomplished because Savitar pushed him out. Savitar pushed him out of the Speed Force, right?
Pushed him out, yeah. Oh yeah. So that's what caused.
I like how he can go back. It was stupid, but it was dope at the same time. Because if it was shitty, I'd be shitting on it. When he was going back, then he'll stick his head out and shit.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. It was again. Goofy as hell, and it looked terrible, but it was like
if the movie didn't have floating head like that, it didn't have.
Just looking
I'd be killing it.
He just looking like.
Again, but I understood it.
It was so good
because even that whole kind of like cathedral kind of way, like it was like stadium seats where you can see the different scenarios and shit.
This was like it was like repeating over and over again. He was just
understood it.
I understood it. Yeah,
I let it. I'm not sitting on it, right? Like I'm not making that.
It was sweet, man. It was nice. I like that. Yeah,
I'd be cooking that part. Like, look, he stuck his head out. Nobody can see. Me. I'd be like, nobody can see his face.
It was like water. It was like a pool. Like he was just sticking his head out of the pool and just looking around. Like, okay, grocery store.
But yeah, that's what he got in. He got the C and he got the. But like, so he was doing all that. But then when he was coming back, Savitar, Dark Flash pushed him out.
Yeah,
and that's how he ended up at this point. I'm not gonna act like I know. Was he in a different timeline or was he just in his same timeline but early? Right, but I would imagine it was a different time because of all the things that happened with it was a whole different
universe of that. Yeah.
Whole different universe.
At that point, he had changed it.
Yeah, he changed, and now we have a whole sideways universe. And the older, but when he shows up in the time where he's his age, and they kind of letting us know without letting us know, like, I mean, you look older. Like even the father said, like you look older.
Yeah, you kind of can see, like, wait a minute, why are you
older? Like,
because that's always the giveaway. We're gonna talk about that another time. The Miles Morales, where he was like, "You change your hair." That's always the giveaway that you in the wrong universe. Is like, that's your hair. It's like
people's right. Like that's like time travel going wrong line.
That's the giveaway, and some people be knowing like you're not there. You're not our guy. So yeah, you're right. First thing is mom and dad notice, oh, you cut your hair. Dad flat out said, like, no, he look older, he look more mature, and the mom alive, you know what I mean? She good. And she like, but then, like you said, it starts slowly unraveling where it's like, yeah, so what are you on break from school? And he eating the spaghetti, like, school.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't ask yet, like, what year is it? But then he look out the window. He see goofy ass Young Barry out there, just knocking over his head.
Young Barry,
slappy as hell, bro. Man. Oh man, he's super slappy from the game.
Hey man, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, Young Barry could have messed up the movie for me for a while.
Man. Like, he was so damn goofy, bro.
Oh my,
he was so goofy. But it was the dynamic between the two was dope because it
It made
it made you appreciate the young Barry, the older Barry. Like, damn, okay, I see. Your mom dying made you like.
He
this,
even said
bro.
a line like that. Like, I see why.
Yeah,
I see why I ain't got no ass. Like, that's kind of like how he said. Like, I see.
He called him out.
Why
Like,
people like,
bro,
this,
you ain't that guy. Like, quit acting like that, man. Like, But yeah, Young Barry come up there, man, and they come face to face for the first time, man. I think Young Barry fainted, right? They end up in the room. At this point, he still got his powers. You know what I mean? He transport him upstairs, like, they going back and forth. He's giving him the rundown of what happened, whatever. And
what the date was. I like how they didn't tell us.
Yeah,
like, I was thinking they was gonna tell us what year it was, but they just only stuck with the dates, right?
I like that, yeah.
Maybe because they did the reshoot, they probably had that in there. Like, look, we don't know when this movie coming out. You know how it is right now with MCU. Like, it's 2025, it's 2024. Like, we don't know what year it is depending on what project come out. It's just like, look, man, it's September 20th.
Facts. Yeah,
that's the year. But yeah, you're right. They have this dynamic. It made the older Barry better.
It did.
You're absolutely right, man. Because like they wasn't like the same.
He could no longer be aloof like he was in the other. Like not that he was aloof, but he couldn't afford to be the goofy guy no more because he had an even more goofier version of himself. So he couldn't be like he had to be the guy like, hey, no, listen, focus. We gotta get this done. He had to be the like exposition guy almost, and he had to explain and coach this young Barry on what they needed to get done.
And then on our side too, we probably can even like fill in the blanks. Like, look, man, he been hanging with Bruce Wayne. Like, so like even the person that he was when he showed up, and when he showed up in the Justice League and in Snyder Cut, as goofy as he was with all that stuff, he had been around some adults.
Yep.
Diana was an adult.
Those were his friends. You know what I mean? Like that's
Clark
the only
was
people
an adult.
They all grown.
Bruce paid and he giving you game.
Facts.
So he can only be an improved, more mature version of himself. Like we want to fill in the blanks of why that might have been the case than the person he was like when he first saw Diana, in the Justice League, right? And he falling on her, lightning and shit. He didn't know got to push somebody out the way. He was goofy as hell, right? He was goofy, but this guy, the guy we run into was, like I say, if the movie was trash, man, you know how much I'll be from the top of the roof, like,
oh man,
Young Barry, and then he sucked his face through the water, and then the CGI, like, they could have loaded it up. And when I say trash, that's all obviously it's all subject, but
but right,
he's dealing with himself. I thought that was good, man. I don't even lie. I want to hype it up like. I want to hype it up, but I just
not to hype it up
because it was a big part of the second act.
It was.
I'm not. It was like it was definitely a big part. It was a lot going on in the second act.
But Young Barry got an arc. Like Young Barry, the movie about him, like you know what I mean? Like
the movie really is about.
The movie was about man, like him
and
we got Flash's origin story basically. You know what I mean? Like where we saw goofy ass Young Barry turn from this goofy ass kid, and he got his powers to somebody who didn't want to lose nobody, who had saw what his future could be and was like, I'm gonna do something about it now. But he didn't have the perspective. He didn't have like he didn't have the time put in like that the other Barry had to realize.
He didn't have.
All he had was Barry. All he had was that he knew that was going to happen.
First time, we just get into it. Like spoiler alert, his first time going out in action, he lost 2 people. So not only do we know his mom's about to, and there's every timeline don't have his mom's, right? This is the only one. Every month, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if Barry go do what he do, then we gonna lose her in this one, right? He goes out and he loses 2 people with him, and he can't do nothing about that.
Facts. He lose 2 people that he just like, you know what I mean?
Because that didn't happen to the old Barry.
No, it didn't.
They saved him a couple times.
They did.
Remember, when he hurt his leg, I think he got shot too. But we kind of circling back. So just kind of like you saying, going through that arc thing and why it turned into when they get to the point where they got the third one, the Savitar Barry, is like that younger Barry that was out there never learned that. He never got to grow up.
Nope. He skipped straight to the end.
He had a like you say, he had the arc, but he never got to grow. He never got to like he was just out there running, and the people he was with call L's.
And that's what was dope about the older Barry, because that's where his hero came out. Where he was like, "Hey man," he kind of just stopped and like that was a dope. Hey man, not
That's
the hype.
shit, ain't
That
it,
was
man?
a dope ass scene,
boy.
man. That was a dope ass dynamic.
I got
where
chills
he stopped
right
and was like, "Yeah," he stopped and he
right
was
now.
like, Barry just was like literally fit. Like he stopped and like that signified like, man, hey, bro, it's over. Hey Barry, Barry kept running back. He's like, hey, Barry, this shit keep happening, man. You see, like they tried it a few times where we get to see it actually play out, where they actually go back. All right, so we skip.
You remember I was before you go. You remember I was shitty about like,
yeah,
man, that fucking scene. They showing. I thought like, man, this is what they showing. This is gonna be the final battle.
Yeah, this was it.
And I'm gonna be salty. Like I'm like this. I'm meaning like that was what the movie was gonna be.
It was
like it was gonna be that like just that little battle in that kind of desert kind of area where they was outside of town, outside of the city where they was battling. I'm like, and this is where they gonna do this, and then Batman gonna do this, and then Supergirl, and that was like just a setting because that wasn't the real battle.
Nah. But let's not get ahead. But just to finish the
recap. I went further. My bad.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. We're gonna get there.
That younger Barry kind of part of it.
So how do we meet the big guy? We knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming, but like. Because Barry, older Barry, is seeing that, okay, we need to go get this person. Who was that?
Yeah,
this was the fucked up part. This was the messed up part about it. They kept saying Back to the Future, and he wasn't registering when he kept saying Marty McFly, and they actually used the person who was originally cast.
That should have been a big giveaway. Like, bro, it's not the same universe. Like, you need to stay.
I'm listening to him like I know it's a different universe, but like. Back to the Future, like how deep cut that was, because they actually kept saying the name of the person who was originally cast as Marty McFly and had filmed most of the movie. And they got to the point they was like, nah, this dude ain't it. We need Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, that was wild.
But they kept saying his name, and he was like, why? And then he was like, why y'all keep saying? But like he was name dropping that, and he was name dropping. He was like, oh, okay, we got to figure. Okay, I need Bruce. Like he need Bruce because Bruce is the smartest person he knows. But he like,
and that was but that was the one he finally hit on. He went through everybody else on the list before he got to Bruce.
We said Superman. Right. Did he went when he was saying. So that's how it was. Was he typing Wonder Woman? And then it was like a Vegas dancer. And, I thought he was saying that in the room.
Wonder Woman was a Vegas entertainer or whatever.
He was saying that in the room with his homeboy. No, in his
Barry's roommate
okay, let's go back. Let's go back.
Young Barry,
because he needed to get the young Barry to get his powers. Because he thinking in the same, and I don't know if it was ever explained in the movie if that was a really thing. So pardon me if I'm wrong about this, like if I'm going the wrong way. But I don't know. Like it's part of me that don't know if he needed the young Barry to get his powers, because they was in a whole different. Like, was he gonna lose his powers if the young Barry didn't get the powers? You get what I'm saying? Because the guy he ran into, it was the same day. The young Barry was supposed to have that date with Iris West. Like,
right?
He had a date with her, right? But this was the day that, because he was in the lab, the lightning happened, went through those chemicals. Those chemicals gave him his power, right?
Yeah,
he felt like he needed that to happen so that
he wanted to get back. Yeah, he was still thinking of time as like linear.
Like he wasn't gonna change time.
Yeah, he was thinking of it like time is like linear. So he was like thinking like, all right, if you don't get your powers, I can't get back.
Okay,
it changes what I got.
Because it probably wouldn't have mattered.
No, it wouldn't have
at all. But
it wouldn't
the way he was thinking, it was like
he was getting scars and stuff on his face. The scars wasn't popping up on, and we get to that later. But yeah, like but Batman, Bruce Wayne ended up explaining it to him. But yeah, you're right. Like he was still thinking, no, I gotta get you. You gotta get your powers, or I can't get back home. Because if you don't get your powers, I don't have my powers.
Yeah.
So so he's still thinking of that, and he rushing this dude. He get him to the lab, and he wind up losing his power, which
he basically transferred his powers, right? Like he was like, I guess when he got in the way, it took, when all that stuff happened, it went all through him and went into.
And that was one of the key differences with Flashpoint. The movie and the comic book was he loses powers because he never exists, because he changed the past.
Yeah.
He don't become Flash because he came back in the comic book, in the movie, in the animated movie. He comes back at his right time. He doesn't go back early. He comes back, and by the time he gets back, his mom's still alive, but he never became the Flash because he never had that accident. He never was in the place. He never was in the lab because he changed time and it was no reason for him to be there. So he's just regular Barry Allen. He still worked for the police department, the forensics department, but he don't get no powers. In the movie,
that happened in the cartoon too, right? Like
that was in the cartoon.
Thomas Wayne to get him the stuff.
Yeah, so he needs to get his he needs to get his powers back because he don't have his powers. In this version, he think he need to get Young Barry. He need to make sure that Young Barry go through with it to which was weird because he was like, I interned as, and it's like, okay, that explains why you wasn't already a cop when Justice League met you. I get it now, but you had powers because you interned, which is crazy because it's like, oh, that's where you ended up working. You know what I mean? But still, I mean that's not too bad. But that makes sense.
Bruce had to give you a reference to get the job at the place you interned.
Right. So that's kind of that's kind of all over the place. But with that said,
that might have been Justice.
That was Justice. But with that said, he ends up getting Barry to the lab. Barry gets struck by the lightning with the chemicals, but it reverses his power. He loses his powers.
Because it went through him.
It went through him. Yeah. So he basically I don't know if it's
some of the fact you say he lose his power.
He loses powers.
Went through him. He reversed it, transferred, whatever.
Yeah.
He don't have it no more.
He don't got the powers no more. So, but Young Barry got him now. And again, that's why I say we basically get the origin story of how we get to see how Flash reacted when he get his powers, even though this is an alternate Barry.
Yeah.
He started just going crazy, man. He running
around.
Like
when you training somebody, man. Like, hey, don't push that. I ain't tell you to push that yet.
Right.
But they didn't already hit the button or whatever it was. And it was like, that's the kind of shit he was doing with him. Like, hey, man, you ain't listening to me. You going, your clothes gonna go on fire, but he ain't listening to none of that. He done ran off.
He go through the whole list of stuff, man, that we just know that he would do if he was younger Barry. And I like that part where he acknowledged that he got a dumbass run, where he running around the room and he's doing. I'm like, that was funny because I'm like, man, that is funny. Like that he acknowledges that the run looked dumb as hell. Like, dumbass pose. Again, movie don't take itself too serious.
Shout out to him getting acknowledged that because Gusta never got to acknowledge that.
Nah,
because that show took itself serious.
Oh, too serious. Yeah. Which is why he my least favorite Barry Allen.
Yeah, it took itself.
Not that this is Grant Gustin.
Well, they tried to do like seven versions of they try to do them all in one person instead of picking Wally West or Barry. Like it was a combination of hell. Yeah, that's why he cried all the damn time.
Right. But man, that was dope, man. We see young Barry testing out his powers. He do all this stuff.
It definitely was an origin. I didn't even think of that. It was an origin. They put an origin story in there.
But yeah, man, he eventually started looking for Bruce Wayne, man, and they finally, after he realized, like, I can't find Superman. There's nobody knows who Superman even is. He started realizing
Wonder Woman, except a Vegas dancer.
Yeah,
there was a Victor hadn't gone through his situation yet.
Yeah.
He tried to call up Aquaman's father. Ended up being Boba Fett.
Arthur Curry, Arthur Curry's dad. It was he got
whatever his name was. Boba Fett answered the phone like
what you talking about? Like
that's my dog or whatever. They just like you got you an Atlantean princess that you didn't, and you got just Big Mama just sitting on the couch.
I got Big Mama on the couch. Big Mama, he looked at her too, like he got me. I'm mad, like enough of this asshole. Like he hang up.
Yeah, Boba Fett was mad. Like, Boba was do the Mandalorian, but I'm in here doing this scene.
I know they couldn't even call me for that. Yeah. So he hang up, man. He realized, man,
he can't get nobody.
Yeah, he like I created a world with no meta universe. So he finally say Batman. They like, the girl come out like I am Batman. He like, what'd you say? I am Batman. He like, is there a Batman on this earth? He's like, yeah, there is. So he like, boom, I got one person, but it's Bruce Wayne. I know this guy. I'm about to go to him now. Right away though. He go to the and this is one of them things where they kind of like, okay, they don't really explain how Bruce is this damn spry in his old age. Cause he immediately jumping up on tables. He like spying around the corner.
Nasty.
He like So you like, damn, okay. And you kind of realize, like, oh, that's Bruce with the long hair,
Because even your boy, when he took a couple years off, Bale, he needed reconstructive. He needed a super.
Again, movie not taking itself serious. This is not Christopher Nolan's Batman.
is where
This
we
is
would
not-
be. Like,
Yeah, like
it was Tridash. Like, you mean to tell me this old dude? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not getting away with that, you know. But nah, movie don't take it. So he, you know, we get a little bit of comic relief, man. Bruce up there cooking spaghetti all wild. You know, he kind of go back and forth, you know. Oh, Young Barry kind of like, you know, just moving out of the way, like, because you know, he too fast, so he just go past him. That's kind of a recreation of when he first threw the batarang at him, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's just like, you know, he throw a pot at him, you just look at it like, oh, yeah. So
Justice League though, like you're the Batman when that
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
boom ran. I was like, yeah, I give him now. Well, I'll get Justice now.
He bring it back like
I'll give him now one if that was his. I give him that. But
That
but
was
yeah,
nice.
all that shit is happening.
Yeah.
The whole time, Young Barry thinking it's still the cousins dinner because I was like, are we going to?
yeah, Barry goofy as hell, man. I'm like, you goofy. he say, what are you talking about? I thought this was the cousins dinner. I'm like, hey man, this motherfucking Young Barry goofy, man. I'm like, Barry, what are you talking about? I thought it was the cousin. You're like, what are you talking about?
He's Batman. Like this whole
he's
dude throwing around,
Batman.
throwing shit. He
Barry
like,
looking at him
I
like,
thought this was the
Barry.
cousins dinner.
Bro, this is what you think we've been doing this whole time? I thought we was doing the cousins dinner. Like, so Young Barry again being goofy as hell, man. So they kind of, man, this part was like, again, this is like you said, we be on the roof. If the movie was trash, we'd be on the roof, man. They just casually they just having their way down in the back cave. Like, you know, they just in the back. They make their way.
Free rent.
Oh man, they just make their way down to the back cave.
Yeah, because it'll be like, yo, was he so checked out that he just let them walk into it? Like this still Bruce Wayne now.
Yeah,
like
he
still had the eye jammy to be able to see, like to open up his suits and stuff. Like he still had the retina scan to be able to do that. Like he not just letting people in. But again, the movie didn't take itself seriously.
He didn't take itself too seriously.
Because we be annihilating that part of it.
Yeah, in the animated movie, he tortured Barry before he let him.
Yeah,
before he started listening. He break his fingers and shit. He make him shoot the flash ring out of the flash suit out of the ring and his thon suit. But anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, they chilling, and then part of it is like he knew. Barry acknowledges that he know Bruce looking at him the entire time. He's like, I know you there. And he looking up more metahumans or whatever. He trying to find like a way to see where they got Superman locked up or whatever. And eventually he find how did he find the bunker in Russia? How did he do it?
Well, it happened off screen. Bruce found. So he fell asleep.
Yeah.
Cross-referencing things. And they knew that but they were doing what they found that how many situations fell during that time period from the sky. It was like they were looking for like the type of vessel because there was so many Clark Kents and they couldn't do anything with Kents. Like it's not going to happen. Wow. It was about he was connected to NASA and the vessel Soviet. Well, they might have been. I don't know if they called it Soviet Russia, but basically Ukraine or something like that. But it was that's how Bruce was able to figure that part out off screen in typical Bruce fashion. Because he's like, you're the world's greatest detective. Like, I thought that was pretty dope. He's hitting with the little line, like, you can figure it out. You're the world's greatest detective. And this, that, and the third. In typical fashion, he fell asleep. He woke up. Bruce had already handed it to him.
Yeah. Bruce, and this kind of like a calm. This isn't a paranoid Bruce Wayne like we used to. Bruce would be so damn paranoid. He would have been trapped him. He would have had them tied up before he answered any questions.
Especially an older Bruce.
Yeah, older Bruce would have been like, I ain't answering no
man.
You answering my questions. They would ask him questions like, what do you think about, like he ended up explaining to him the whole time thing, with the spaghetti and all that, where he explained to him
the fact that he would just make a spaghetti for himself. You already knew like it's a different this is
Alfred
different Batman.
Because this version of Alfred is way gone. Like he been gone for years.
But like he wasn't hiring nobody else, and obviously to hire somebody like they got to be in the circle. But like the way he was just this billionaire dude beasting on just regular sloppy spaghetti, like this was a different Bruce. That probably should be our sign right there. If we was gonna come from the top rope and be like, yo, he was boiling spaghetti, and then the fact that he left this shit out would have been like anybody else with their head on straight would have known like, hey, this house is occupied right now, like some shit is going on.
We know it wasn't
door was
Bruce.
open.
So
You know, yeah. He wasn't too bothered. We don't even know his backstory. He was like, shit, if it's time to go, it's time to go. I'd have did it all.
He was a retired Bruce, man. He was more or less the kind of, it's very similar to 89 Batman. He was very similar. Like they looked like they had a similar run or whatever, a similar arc. Where he just basically told him like, "Hey man, Gotham is one of the safest cities in the world now. They don't need me no more. We solve crime basically. We're good." And you just realize like, okay, so he kind of retired, and he give the classic. I hate to say this, it was like the Last Jedi line where he like not interested, and he kind of like he did his version and kind of throwing the lightsaber over the shoulder, like, "No, I'm not." They're like, "Hey, help us," and he's like, "Nope, I'm not doing it," which was kind of predictable, like, okay, he's not gonna help.
Yeah.
And then he come back and it's something that interesting me. And he like, all right, I'm in. And that's they find out that Superman or whatever, they got a Kryptonian locked up in Russia. And this whole time he kind of explained, Barry and Bruce are having this conversation. And is that when young Barry overheard what was going on?
Yeah,
like
my
parents is dead. Oh, my mom died. Yeah. He's just down there just listening,
because he's still getting this new mentorship, like same kind of basically kind of different, same thing that Bruce has said in that alley is kind of what older Bruce Batman 89 is saying, right? Like we are what we go through, and this down in the third, trying to like.
I don't know what I would be. I don't know what I would be without this, and which was dope. And it was like, by the way, he didn't accomplish saving Bruce's parents, whatever. But it was they basically they get into the Batwing and they make their way over to Russia. What did you think, man? How did you just like go take me to the point where you first saw Kara, man? What did you think of that? What did you think of the introduction to Supergirl?
I don't know, man. It was because it was kind of like on the nose for me, like the movie, the animated movie. Basically, like little frail person that they was gonna be able to pull the fight again. I'd be killing it. The little fight action, her punching, because Kara punched something like that shit. They was gonna explode, right? If we want to get into the the nitty gritty of it all, like she punched somebody, they're exploding, humans and shit like that.
Here's the bell I give it real quick, not to cut you off. Here's the bell that I was trying to explain this kind of to my wife why about Kara, right? And about Superman, even in the animated movie, about why. Okay, you're right. Don't get me wrong. You're right, bro. Just like we see Homelander. When you punch somebody, they explode, bro. They just blood and guts. That's how it's supposed to be, obviously.
Yeah. We want to get into it and get to the nitty gritty. That's what kind of stuff I would be saying.
Superman would hold back and pull his punches a little bit, even if he punched somebody like that. Kind of like Kryptonians would just explode.
Not nearly as strong,
right? The Kryptonians would explode people. They'd be like slaughtering people if they was punching because they not holding back. They warrior. The thing about Kara, and the thing about the Kryptonians, even when they visit Earth, is the reason why, and not to get too comic booky technical, but the reason why she can do stuff like that, and this we're gonna eventually talk about why she kept failing against Zod. She ain't been on Earth as long as Clark was on Earth. Clark was on Earth since he was a baby.
Okay.
This is why, and I don't want to go.
No.
I don't want to go too far.
I didn't sit on it. Right. Pause. I just was like,
no, but and it just really
makes just what you're saying makes sense.
This really just means just explaining why Kara kind of came up short when it comes to like damn, bro, you couldn't get you couldn't stop Zod. Really, she never was gonna win that fight. And I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it was no way she was ever gonna win that fight because she hasn't been absorbing the sunlight as long as Clark Kent or as Kal-El was. This is why when we ever see in the comic book when old Superman fight young Superman, because it's like an older Superman, like the dude with the grays and the black S. Whenever he go up against young Clark, he's sunny. He got him in a headlock, like, hey, man, chill out. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's stronger than him.
Yeah.
The Superman gets stronger the older he gets because he like a solar panel. He just absorbs sunlight over time. So Kara, who just literally get released, she had been getting blasted with red sunlight that entire time. I'm assuming they didn't really say that. But she comes out of the pod and she gets sunlight and it like changes her whole, her body. But she really not that proud.
And
She nowhere near.
out, and she still fell out.
Oh yeah.
After she still threw a couple.
Yeah, she still fell out. Yeah. And
no. What you saying? What you saying? And I feel like an idiot. Even like now, I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense because then she did fall out. Like she didn't have all that because that's kind of and you explaining that because there's even that part. And I know people said that, but when you watch, because I watched Man of Steel again.
Yeah, right.
Because there's parts about it where I'm like, Zada kicked this dude's ass, right? Because he was trained.
Yeah,
right. He was trained. Like they both Kryptonians.
That was skill level, yeah.
And he trained like he would wear out Clark.
Pure skill level, yeah.
But Clark was stronger. All that time, he was stronger.
He was stronger.
Because if everything was on everything, if Zod had that same amount of time.
That's why he was able to hold him and break his neck. Because he was just
because of the time.
He big broed him.
Because any pound for pound, I mean, Zod was a warrior.
If Zod had been raised as a baby on Earth and got that yellow sunlight like that,
with that same level training,
destroy Superman because he would be too much. It would be too much skill level. If they was the same power, like he would beat him. The reason Superman is able to like even in Man of Steel. The reason he able to when they holding him down and he start blasting them and stuff and he can get up like that, he's stronger than all them Kryptonians. He can take them all because he's been there longer. He like, I'm used to this. So
that make perfect sense.
Yeah,
that's the advantage that he had.
That's the advantage he had.
Even though that's why old girl tried to tell him like your morality is why you're gonna lose.
Exactly.
Nah, that yellow sun.
I've been absorbing this yellow sunlight since I was a baby.
That's why I'm about to.
Since I was a baby. Yeah, that's why I was a little kid lifting up trucks and school buses and stuff like that because he's been absorbing that shit since he was he basically came out of the womb. So
okay. And Karen
my bad.
Was less. She probably even had it less, to be quite honest.
Yeah, because she came there as an adult. Yeah, she came there as an adult.
And Zod
she didn't get there as a baby.
Zod was already on the planet, even if it was a day or two, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like for her, that she had none of that.
She had none of that. She got sent there as an adult to protect Clark, and then got immediately basically captured and put in red sunlight. She come out of the pod, and like you said, she fainted after that. She did a Grogu, like where she, exerted all this energy, and then was like, "So, but my bad, man. I cut you off."
No.
You saying that? How did you? What you said it was on the nose? What did you feel like?
It was because it was like, okay, that's how I used to seeing this same situation. It just happened that it was Kara instead of Clark.
Facts,
right? Like, and then there's the part. So as I do a revisionist thing, right? I think it would have been. I think the Supergirl part of it would have been weird. Because for lack of better terms, she was just cannon fodder.
That's true, bro.
It's really what she played the part of that. Like for her purpose, she was never gonna make it.
No, she wasn't.
So like as you go through the thing, like the way she talked and things like that, like she wasn't meant to be. And I'm definitely not trying to be disrespectful, right? She wasn't meant to be memorable throughout the movie because we're not revisiting her unless, they do like, James could bring her back, but it'll be a totally different person. It won't be her because she was emo.
She
was emo.
She's not coming back. No,
she wasn't meant to have an arc.
No,
she wasn't meant to be around people and understand humanity and have love for humanity.
Nope. That's shouts out to her. You're right about that. That's a great point. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, go ahead.
No. That's a great point that you said that. That is a great point. And shout out to her. Great job on her part. Like you said, not meant to be memorable because she came out of that pod. She's a Kryptonian, dog. She ain't no little kid who been raised in Kansas. She ain't got no political.
Yeah, she don't got no Marvel. She ain't got no Martha. No John.
She acknowledged, hey, I'm a Kryptonian. We're not like warriors. We got warriors, but we're not like a warmongering. They not like the people I come from, because I think she come from that little city. Remember we was talking about that, how that city got shrunk by Brainiac. I forgot the little Superman keep it at the fortress. He keep it in his fortress or whatever. But anyway, she acknowledges like, hey, for the most part, I'm peaceful, but I'm an alien. She wasn't no truth and justice the American way.
No, she wasn't none of that.
She was an alien, dog.
My first impression of y'all is y'all captured me.
Yeah, I don't like y'all. You know what I mean? I want to annihilate. I kind of want to join them, but I know what Zod was on before
if
I
it was
left.
anybody but Zod,
yeah, I would have joined in because I owe y'all. I owe y'all some, some thrashes. You know what I mean? Y'all done lock me up. Really, she was talking about that other country, but we ain't, but
yeah.
She's, that's how she saw humanity. Was like, hey man, y'all capture me, and then even try to like, y'all ain't peaceful. So
yeah,
I like that. That was you right. That was a great part of her performance. She was an alien, dog. Like she ain't had no emotions. She was like she's super emo. Had the I don't know how she would have that haircut like that. I mean, you would think it would be long and down her back.
Yeah.
Some way she was
emo,
cutting her.
they got a little emo. They had to give her something, right?
Yeah, she's super emo, man. But she kind of, you're right though. You're right. She was never meant to have an arc. Never was meant to have a bunch of lines because it wouldn't have made sense. You've been locked in a pod for X amount of years, and you never got the experience. Like she wasn't like Kara from the Supergirl show who got raised by a family and had a sister.
Got the raise. She still got raised.
Nah, B, she was just literally locked in there with her suit and was like thinking about her nephew who out there somewhere. And she's an alien. She was an alien and she acted like an alien. I like that. And you're right. She came out and she was like, hey, I'm an alien, but I'm also a Kryptonian. And where I'm from, hope. And we do things right. And I'm gonna help you all out.
And it was only because Barry saved her. Like you didn't have. Why did you do?
Why you do that? Yeah. Why? And that was a good moment.
I think that was a good job. That's another good thing. Like to your point, that's another good thing that they left that in there. Like because it would have made no sense for her to even like you say the Zod aspect of it. She could have just flown away and left.
Yeah.
Right. Just got all the way out. Like I'm done with this. Right. But
I'm gonna let you know.
whatever she needed to go, like I ain't fighting for none of y'all. But like they clearly showed us Barry say the older Barry, and we seeing his growth. Hey, making me appreciate it a little bit more because that moment he was like, we can't leave her.
Yeah,
young Barry wouldn't have did that.
Nah, young Barry
can't leave her.
I don't know.
We got to take her. This is a bad situation. Let's get her up out of here.
Yeah, they carried her out of there.
Yeah, and that's the only reason that she would even consider helping them. On top of the fact that it's Zod, like add those two and two together, and that's why she would help.
She saw just enough humanity.
Yeah. I'm definitely not trying to disrespect because I thought the actress did a good job for what I felt the portrayal of it was. I say cannified her like she wasn't. I'm saying cannified because I didn't have a better word. She was not meant to win.
No,
it would only have been weird had she won.
That would have again. And this is where you think James Gunn and you think the fact that they basically came in and said, nah, we not continuing on with the Snyderverse. Because you're right, it would have been very weird as she won because that would have meant the end of Superman. You know what I mean? They successfully beat Zod. We don't get this whole idea that Barry can't change things. And you're right, but she was never gonna win. She was never meant to win, and she never could win. She wasn't strong enough, and they show that right away when he overpowered and stab her with the thing that he got Kal-El
pops with.
He got pops with. It's like, damn, boy, Zod. Shout out to Zod, man. Zod nasty. Zod been in a lot of movies, man. Zod was in The Man of Steel. His corpse showed up in BV Superman. Now he come back for this one. He been in 3 movies, man.
Of Steel, he been
he been nasty, bro. He great, man. Shout out to Michael Shannon, man. He did a great job. I don't know if that was old girl. I felt like they CGI fested her up, but her likeness is in there.
The other one,
I like
German young lady.
Yeah, I like her.
She was nasty in the first.
She was great.
She wasn't in it but a blink of an eye in this.
Man, she was. Oh man, she was so nasty.
I watched that. I left that movie theater yesterday, and I watched Man of Steel last night. And I'm like, because I seen like a middle afternoon, kind of like a 5, whatever. So I had time.
I gotta watch Man
of Steel.
I watched it today.
She was nasty in that movie.
She was ding, like, oh man, just her speed, her skills,
her tenacity, like my man Alfred. Look at his speed.
When he was telling Bruce it was over, like, look at his speed. You look at him, you can't beat him. Look at him, bro.
The League of
been out for
Shadows,
10
boy.
years. Yeah, that's the League of Shadows right there, man.
You don't want this
Yeah,
smoke.
you
They
don't
wasn't
want that,
saying
man.
smoke then, but that's basically what he was saying. Like, it's
He really wanted to tell him, like, hey man, I don't even know if in your prime you really could have fucked with him. You can't fuck with him, man. Hey man, you can't fight, man. Hey, what if Alfred would have just took off his apron? Like, you can't fuck with him, man. You can't fuck with him, man. Get out of here, man.
I'm trying to tell you. You don't want to do this, man.
Can't
This is
do it,
not
man.
this. The other ones,
Yeah.
that ain't the one. But
Nah, not
but
that
that's how girl was in the first one. She wasn't in, like you said,
Yeah.
she wasn't in there but a blink of an eye. So who knows if like
Yeah,
they just used her likeness,
They
like you said,
CGI
to get point, 'cause she
her.
wasn't.
Yeah.
And like you say, it wasn't. But I saw the director say that they cut a lot of stuff off for pacing, right? Because there was moments where you could see like other cameos potentially happening, and it didn't. That they probably cut. I think it probably ain't nothing too major. I actually really do believe Grant Gustin was supposed to be in it. I feel like they was doing they circle around.
Come on,
when they was
doing especially with the universes.
He should have.
Because here's the thing, we're gonna cut through. No, so let's get to that. So Carr helps them. They finally take it to the battlefield now. And Man of Steel,
go to there, let's pay homage.
Yeah,
Batman '89 was nasty in Russia.
Oh my God, my bad. You're right.
But just put that out there. Man. He was nasty in Rush. And the thing about it, and I know he old and whatever. Like I told you about the movie The Protege, he was getting busy in, right? Like Michael Keaton's still out here doing his stunts. I don't know, I'm sure he didn't do all those, but I'm sure he did, right? In this movie, right? Because it's the nature. But I believed it, and Batman was nasty. I just want to put that out there. Like he was like catch a butt, and it wasn't unbelievable when he was knocking them bullets out. Barry still got shot like he did in the damn tunnel in the Justice League.
Yeah, he did.
Young Barry.
Stay getting shot in the leg.
He getting hurt. He doing all that. He kicking ass. He's flying. Like Batman was nasty. Ben Affleck Batman was nasty. Batman '89 was tactically nasty with the hands, and he had a bunch of stuff. I just want to put that out there before we went further, right?
No, you're right. We got to stop.
Now
we
got to
acknowledge that. No,
he had to acknowledge that. Like, yeah, he was nasty. To me, I want to put word. I believe that. Just in case you don't believe that, to me, he was nasty.
No, he was. I believe it. He was nasty. Russia, he in there, he bailed him out, bro. Like he saved him. Like, you know what I mean? He figured out
they wasn't gonna make it.
We gotta blast y'all up out of here. He like, how much you weigh? You know, with her, married to her, with her, you know, one whatever. And he like, all right, man. He put a bomb on the bottom of the thing. They blast their way up out of there, man. Because young Barry hurt. He got shot. But you're right, man. Because I was worried, man. Cause I'm like, he taking a lot of shots. He taking bullets. You know what I mean? But he got the cowl up, the cowl bulletproof. The suit looked dope. He chose the older suit. You know what I mean? He didn't really go with the other variants or whatever. He just like, I gotta go old school. I'm back in the game.
Classic.
He tearing people up, man. But yeah, he in there.
He on some Batman shit. That's his will.
It's just it's like everything we could have dreamed of, man. Like, damn, like stuff that you talk about. Like, hey, man, what if we saw '89 Batman with today's CGI? You know what I mean? Like with today's stunt work. You know what I mean? We see it. Like he nasty. You know what I mean? So he break him out of the Russia. He was nasty in Russia, man. You're right.
Yeah, we go to the part before we get to the battle. We go to the part. They kept trying. They went back, and this is where young Barry hears the part about his mother passing away, and that's why Barry Allen, older one, came back, and he wanted to make sure he got back to his timeline. But at the end of the day, like they were going to try to recreate the experiment, and it just was not working. And he was about to die. Like they had him strapped up. They had those chemicals. They had the electricity. I thought it was, again, I'd be shooting it down. When he had a Batman symbol hanging out the cave. Like
it was a kite, bro. It was a
Batman kite.
It was Back to the Future,
Franklin
man.
Out here, like,
it was Back to the Future.
Exactly. It's like, okay, let everybody know what a Batcave is, right? Yeah, you know, like it's got a whole Batman kite just sitting up in the sky. But again, they needed the bat. That Batman had a bunch of bat symbols everywhere, right?
He did.
Like 89 Batman.
That's how he's supposed to be.
Batman symbol everywhere. It went to his house like he just stood up like he knew he needed to go because the damn symbol shined in his office.
come out of the bathroom like.
Like, man, you look into the side of the symbol right there, like, how does the symbol go through my window and went right here? Like, we know where the symbol ends up, so we're not worried about like secretiveness, right? We leave the door again. I'm not doing that because they didn't take itself seriously.
No.
Nor should I. But Kara come back. She thought about him saving her. Like, they talk about the hope thing. It still give me chills anytime they say that shit. Stupid, corny line. Whenever they say like the way they say it, but it's like, it's hope. But Barry Allen knew that shit because Clark Kent is his man's.
Facts.
Like, we got history, so like Clark Kent, my man. Superman, my guy. We race sometimes. Yeah, that simple's hope. She flew him up. He got his lightning. He got his power. Like, she hit him up. He come back down. I don't know if young Barry transferred some of that stuff to him when he touched him. I don't know. Whatever it was, he came back down. He had his power. They ready to go. Like you say, to your part, just wanted to fill those blanks in. Now we get into the part where what I thought was the final kind of act. Like, okay, we about to go do this, and then Barry gonna come back to the future. He ain't gonna have his parents, but like everybody get to go their own merrily separate ways. We don't get that, and I don't see that we got that. But that's what I thought was about to happen.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Kara gonna show up. She gonna beat Zod because she started with that. But again, I watched Man of Steel, and the way she kind of flew through was the same thing Henry Cavill did. Like, when he flew through that ship and got Zod, like it was the same. It was like a mirror, even though it was a different kind of setting. She flew, knocked Zod down, whatever. Batman flying, and like they just getting busy. But and then he's schooling young Barry. Like, man, like they had to tell him, save one person, right? Bruce had to tell him that in the Justice League. Just save one person, man. Like, just save one.
Because he make a suit out of young Barry make a suit out of the an old Batman suit. Basically, the suit that Batman wore to the Russian battle. You kind of take that off and you leave it laying there, and young Barry just like, all right, make a makeshift little suit here,
Yeah. So they doing their thing. They throwing up the diamond sign, trying to get the
diamond
going.
He like,
threw up the rock, like they doing that.
That was dope. That was dope.
It was. And it was like, okay, they figured it out. But I'm still in my mind like, okay, they're going to save the day. CGI battle, save the day. It's over. Right. And then Barry just going to go back to the future. Right.
Now, but let me ask you, though. Let me ask you real quick. Because freeze that moment. Because I'm with you. When you were thinking that, in your mind, are you still thinking of Savitar? Like, hey, man, who was that? Like, because they kind of like, that happens and he don't mention it until like ever, you know what I mean? Until like the end. But like, yeah, what are you thinking? Because at that point, I'm like, hey, man, I'm getting worried.
That's in my mind, I'm thinking we got to deal with him, but I'm still thinking that's a defeat we're going to have going back. Like, we're going to beat him going back.
Yeah.
Like simple. I'm just giving them the simple. Right. The hell? Like, it's simple how they going to do it. They going to go there. He going to go back into the Speed Force. Savitar going to show up. But he going to go. The real loss is him not having his mom's. Not this shit that's about to happen now.
I'm getting worried because I'm like,
that's what I'm thinking at the time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm thinking, So
how was you seeing it?
My bad. I was thinking I'm getting worried because I'm like, hey man, are y'all gonna just throw him in at the last minute? I'm like, you can't just like, who is that? You know what I mean? Because what we doing with him? Because I'm looking at the time and I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of on the top roof though with this.
Yeah. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to snipe.
Everything is a throwaway line. That's going to lead up to like some post-credit scene that's going to try to explain.
I don't want them. Yeah,
I think that's what I'm thinking was going to happen. Everything going to explain at the end. Because I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the time like, nah. Okay. We're going to, everybody go their separate ways. We're going to smack up Savitar. And it's like, then what was that for in the beginning? Like, that wasn't shit.
There we go. All right.
Little did I know, right?
There was a line he dropped, right? In my bad. But there was a line that Barry dropped to young Barry where he was like, you remember this going back a little bit, but he was like, he was about to punch him to try to make him forget. And he was saying, he's like, how hard do I gotta punch him to make him forget? And then he kind of get distracted, like, whoa, wait a minute, you talking? So I'm thinking, did Savitar punch him so hard that he forgot about Savitar, and that's why he ain't brought him up? I was thinking that at first, and then I'm like, it ain't really going nowhere. But like you said, now we up to the moment where we back at?
We're back at now. We in the
so
battle.
We in the fight. We in the battle now. We in the battle, and it's starting to heat up. Cars
Barry and
them
doing both. Barry's doing work.
Both Barry's is doing work, and Cars getting exposition from Zod. Like, hey, what happened? You know what I mean? Why are you here? He's like, hey, we gotta restart crypto.
She told him that he took care of. He killed the infant. He killed Clark. Shit got real after that, boy.
So that's her mission. That's her only. Yeah. Again, this ain't Supergirl from CW where she got her own life. No, her only mission was to protect her nephew. That was why she was sent to Earth.
Because CW, when she woke up, Clark already a star.
Clark was she got there late. So Clark is already a grown ass man. He older than her, and he the man. So she this car is like not only do she find out like, damn, I pretty much have my life gone or whatever, because I've been in this damn cave or whatever. I've been in this pod. My mission has failed. Y'all killed the infant. So she kind of like loses it at that point. She go into this like battle mode, just like this rage. And what she do? Is that what she punched him? Like, what did she do to
she was like, she was up and slamming and punching him. And then she get to the part where she about to she hit him with the like a pole or something.
Yeah.
Hit him with a pole or something.
She
close.
You see it in the trailer where she peels him out of the she smashes him into the ship or whatever, and then peels him out the ship. She got too close. And whatever that thing is, that thing can. Again, that's kind of hold on now. That thing must be made out of that has to be made out of kryptonite for it to go through her Kryptonian yellow sun exposed skin. Because it's stab. I get it if y'all on Krypton and you can stab people on Krypton. We on Earth now, and your skin is diamond.
Yeah, it got to be some kind of.
So that means that's kryptonite. We just gonna I give them that. Again, if I was on the roof.
Yeah.
I was on the roof, but we're not gonna do that. But we didn't take it so serious. But that's a whole nother thing, because that was whatever. He stabs.
That was a poetry. It was like poetry.
You like, wow, she's done. Because I'm like, wait a minute, she gonna come back. Not only is she done, he harvests her DNA right there on the spot. I'm thinking
they got life essence, didn't he?
I'm thinking they gonna carry her to the ship. My bad. I'm thinking he gonna carry her to the ship and do that off screen. Nah, he like bring it out.
Got what he needed. He got that DNA, didn't he?
You get that?
She was the one.
Yeah, he tell her like, you the one. Not your nephew, not your cousin.
Your nephew didn't have it. Yeah, your cousin.
Your cousin didn't have it.
At the same time,
you got it.
At the same time, Bats get it right when he tried to attack the ship, and the ship. When the ship hit him,
that was rough. I'm looking at that like. That's how he going out. Because I'm thinking like he probably ain't gonna make it through this. But he like, I ain't gonna make it, kid. It's jammed. He like, that's it, Barry. And you see it. He like, but I'm taking them with me. Boom. He crashes to the Kryptonian ship. He done. Like, damn, Bat's gone. Because I'm watching it like, damn, Bat. Again, I'm with you. I think this is the last battle. And I'm thinking they do something maybe where him and Barry save the day. Even though they lose both Car and Batman, I'm thinking I'm still not really convinced that they're gonna go back in time again. I'm just thinking that was the sacrifice for them to do what they needed to do to get back in time or to save this universe. I'm still on that, like they need to save this universe. Then you realize, oh no, it's over. And Barry started to realize, yeah, we really can't. Barry go with him back the first time, like, let's do it.
Yeah, he had to chase him down because Young Barry really starting to go.
Barry like, come on,
man, I gotta be with it.
And we seen that scene a lot of times, whether it's the show where where Barry is catching up to Barry and grabbing him and trying to tell him something. In the movie, in the animated movie, young Barry like elbowing him, like, get off me, man. Like he trying to catch him. Hey, don't do it. Like, you can't go back and say it. So we see it again. We see that play out. We saw this on the show. We seen it in the animated, and we've seen it in the comic books a bunch of times. We finally get to see in the movie old Barry trying to catch up to young Barry. Like, hey man, slow down. They generate enough force. But hey, man, they get back to the cathedral. I like how you called it that, the cathedral, or whatever, where they like, all right, let's poke our head and see what and they see the battle, and I'm like. Oh, at this point now, I'm in uncharted territory. Now, I'm I'm beyond what I theorized. Yeah, now.
We at the movies at that point in time.
Yeah.
We at the movies for
How'd you feel?
Okay, let me strap in right now. Okay, now I don't know. I have no clue because I was already. I was on the roof, right? I'm like, what they going? How they going? This is what we doing.
I got the bow and arrow. I'm waiting.
We gonna do like we just gonna leave
come
this
on,
this
man.
way.
What we about to do? Because I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. I'm still not thinking they're gonna save Batman and Car again. I'm thinking, all right, this is where we fight Savitar. This is where we fight this guy and they deal with. This is it. I'm like, we have to squeeze this little CGI battle in here. Yeah, whatever. Nah, Barry Whitting, Barry helping the first time, and he's like, nah, we making it back. Boom, they get back. Oh, all right, here we go. All right, what you got? Hey, man, come on, man. You go over there, you get him.
He kept getting those extra little kind of like spikes or whatever them shits was doing.
Yeah.
And that's what you kind of, and then I don't know how many times it took
and
I don't know how many times it took you to realize where he was like, oh, Young Barry is
the second time he got it.
It was the second time it was
like,
he
came back with one in his arm. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You him. Your whole body about to be like that. So he
because it's always a wonder like which one of them it's Savitar, so it is a Barry.
That's a good point. It could have been,
but it's like Barry. It got to be one of these.
Yeah,
and you see that one. I didn't give you the first time,
and then you start seeing. That was a dope. Hey, shout out to Ezra Miller, man. Shout out to the director.
He killed that one, man.
This is a great moment. This is good stuff. They had a good dynamic. By the way, he did some of the best work when it comes to playing yourself.
Yeah,
talking to yourself. That was like he did a great job. But he definitely in this last scene where they going back and forth, and you start to see the hints of like derangement in Young Barry, where you like, oh nah. This is where I knew once he started fighting back against older Barry and telling him like nobody dies, and I'm like, oh no, Barry gone. That's the Savitar. That's when I knew. No, that's the guy. You the guy. That's you. When he started going back and forth,
where you go?
Yeah,
set this one out. Like he was talking fast and everything.
And Barry just sitting there like, bro, we done. Like he kept looking at the cathedral like everything I see is Car getting killed and Batman dying. It was over. Like second Batman death was tough. By the way, not to skip over that, but the second Batman death because Car was getting just mopped. It got worse for her. Like she got less.
Death was the one because it was like the shocking one. Like, oh damn.
Yeah. Like but after that, she was just getting slaughtered. Like it was just wasn't even like close for her. But Batman, he went out that second time where he put the bomb on the dude's head because you like, oh man. Not only are you going up against a Kryptonian, bro, you drew the big Kryptonian, bro. Like you get the dude that Superman was struggling with, where Superman was getting dragged, where he literally was getting dog walked, where they took his legs and like. He was like pulling him by his legs and slamming him head first into the ground, bro. When he was throwing him to the
Asgard,
oh man,
with that Loki summoned on Earth.
Yeah.
He was like a Kryptonian, one of them. He
was one of them. You talking about one of the elves?
I forget that thing's name. No.
The Frost Giant.
Remember when they first showed up in the first Thor? And Odin was like, "It's not the
the blaster thing got us."
He was big like one of them. He was like a Kryptonian one of them.
And I'm like, look, bro, you old Batman, and you human, and you like out of the plane. And I'm just like, he still managed to. He was working,
but he was working.
I'm like, oh, I'm like at that point, I'm like, yes, man, this is a great scene, bro. We just like. This last little third act, we just like, I'm like, this shit is just amazing. So but you like that bomb just gonna slow him down, man. He ain't even kill a Kryptonian, and he's still like, I don't know, Kryptonian probably just touched him a little bit. Bruce bleeding to death. Bruce eternal bleeding, bro. He bleeding out, and Flash like, oh, you can't heal like me. So he just watching him die, and that's cold, bro. I'm like, oh, it's over. At that point, you realize again, you still start realizing stuff like, oh no, they never gonna make it. Like, if he died twice, it's over. This ain't about them saving. And with the audience, Barry realizes that like this ain't about. And this happens a lot in time travel movies where you like, oh no, we wasn't meant to win. We just meant to survive. Like I remember that was in Terminator, like the third Terminator movie where he was like, oh, we weren't meant to stop Judgment. They put us here to survive Judgment Day. It was kind of like that, like, oh no, we ain't supposed to win this one. We can't save this world. It's just this is just a reminder that we got to go back and do and redo everything. Like I got to go back and stop myself from changing.
We're not gonna be able to fix this, man. We gotta, like, it's not gonna work.
Young Barry is like, nah. And you start seeing Young Barry become a villain right there before your eyes. He go from a hero to a villain. Again, we talked about this earlier. He skips over all that growth balls that young original Barry had. He's like, nah, you told me I can go back and change things. You show, and now I know I can do it. Oh, I'm about to just keep doing it until I get it right. Realize he come back again. He got shrapnel shit coming out the shoulder. Now it's coming out the legs. And now it's coming out the.
Even before that, the original Barry seeing all these worlds collide. He done seen old Superman.
Oh,
he done seen Christopher Reeve.
Now wait a minute. When did that happen though?
Supergirl. Because Barry, OG Barry stopped running.
Let's talk about that. And this is gonna be his own section and probably make a separate video for this if we whatever. But man, I got you.
Yeah, even though because he's like he's just sitting there like you said, he looking at our character, like the character that we did right now. He's seeing 89 Batman. Like none of this. There's none of these things or any of these bleachers or chairs or whatever seats where there's a point where it doesn't turn to this. And not only is he seeing this, now he's seeing
it's ripping open
time and space.
He sees
that's right, because that part ripped open. That was the part that I think that Savitar kept coming through. Where he came through the first time to ripple in time and space. And maybe it wasn't that, but that's what I'm calling it. And now he's able to see. I'm like, I seen the Green World. Like, are we about to see Green Lantern?
That's what
Green Lantern in the world. But it was
I thought it was the core. I thought it was the core. Like,
I thought
yeah. Oh man, I'm like, oh, here we go. The core, because that's something that would alert them. Like, hey, bro, who messing with the time, bro? Like, what?
He was getting the core, man.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny because I instantly thought
you Superman silhouette. And now I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking real quick. Tell you what I was thinking. James Gunn, baby. This is the guy. This, even if it was CG, even if it was just a silhouette,
I thought it was
it turned out to be even better.
Yeah,
it was Clark Kent, by the way, and Supergirl come in. By the way, that's 89's world right there.
Yeah,
they could have showed 89 in there. They didn't do that, but they share the same universe. That's 89's world where the only metahumans is Superman and Supergirl. That's the real 89 Batman's world. That's his universe.
When you say metahumans, just to circle back, original Barry said that earlier in the movie. Like, I created something or he's like, I'm in the world where metahumans don't exist.
Yeah.
So metahumans don't exist. But go ahead. But back to where we at.
But that universe is where the real Batman resides, right?
Yeah.
But we get he come down. It's a CGI fest, but again, it was just great.
Yeah, that had to be.
Him and Supergirl, they both young, they in their prime, and they just looking like damn.
Yeah, OG Supergirl.
But then, bro, this director had the audacity to show Superman Lives, Nicolas Cage, and gave you a scene from the original concept art. Something that I never thought we would have saw. Where he fighting fighting like a Brainiac spider or something.
Yeah.
It's like, really that, bro?
Yeah.
You gave us that?
Yeah.
But it was dope because it said different things to me personally, man. Because it said to me like how important Superman. I get like Batman was that guy. Don't get me wrong, but it told me something. To me, he was signifying like, hey man, this is how important Superman is to the multiverse. You gotta have a Superman, bro, to stop shit like this from happening. If you don't have this guy, and I don't know if the director was trying to send a message. I don't know if they was trying to send that to the studio, if they was just trying to show that to the appreciation to the audience and just for the fans. But that was like, to me, that was Superman's moment, even though we didn't get Henry Cavill. We should have got Cavill, but we didn't get Cavill, but we did get homage to Superman. And that was the moment where it was like how important he is to all these universes. Like, he needs to be here.
Yeah.
And if he's not here, shit like, stuff like this can happen. So, but that was just dope, man. Like, to show Nicolas Cage Superman Lives.
Yeah.
To give him his moment. that so many fans probably was waiting for. I mean, I ain't like a big follower of that movie, but I know it's a documentary out about it. I remember reading about it back in the day and being hyped, like, damn, like actually being convinced, like, damn, Nicolas Cage, like, but they do it with CGI where he actually in the middle of a fight and then you see that the verse comes in. Now, my bad, I didn't mean to.
No.
How was your reaction? And let me ask you this: on top of like just knowing how you react, did you see anything else outside of that? Because I just saw Clark Kent, Supergirl, and then I saw Superman Lives, and I saw like the worlds coming together. Was there something else there? Because I don't
Adam West.
Oh shit! Really?
Adam West Batman showed up.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. B.
Yeah,
Adam West Batman.
I'm trying to remember if Robin was there. If Dick Grayson pause.
Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is crazy.
But it definitely ain't him, but the other, I can't remember that part. But yeah, Adam West. I felt like, was there another version of Batman? I think it was just Adam West. And there was a part, was that earlier in the movie where they showed, because they did the Black Adam. I thought they did the Black Adam Superman too, that part, like the back of them, but I may be mixing that up with something. But definitely, the Black, when he showed up in Black Adam, but they just didn't go all the way into him.
They did that?
I felt like it, but I could be totally wrong.
I'm gonna have to look at a break. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see that again. But definitely, the Adam West Batman showed up, so they had a Batman world. It was Adam West. So they went there, and then they started having them worlds collided and all that stuff, right? It was really, the big part was a Superman aspect of it. But Barry's watching this, like,
this is the multiverse though, finally acknowledged in DC. Yeah. Like, we really ain't got that. Like, this is the first time we finally got it. Like, no, there can be crisis on multiple Earth. Like, this is it.
They had other flashes too. They had the Jay Garrick
in cathedrals.
Yeah.
And they own Jay Garrick looking up at him like
they had the other flashes running around. Right. That's when I was saying, like, yo, go Grant that, man. Give him his flowers, man. Grant gotta be in one of those, right? Like,
Grant should have been in there, B.
Grant
should have got his cathedral moment.
Grant should have been in there.
Man, that was nice.
They make, if you watching some stuff that come out now, they make it seem like they cut it.
Yeah, I don't want to hype it too much, but I'm just saying I like what they did, man.
No, I definitely like that. And I was like, because again, like I tell you, just acknowledge it, man. Just acknowledge it. But it was like, but I think it made his performance in that scene better. So whatever we want to say about CGI and all this and all that, and I'll take it's cap, but like that part of it, because I don't know what they really could have did with that part, because it was going to be that, right? There's a lot of stuff going on right there, right?
Man, that was a lot.
And like, and every time they show, and we in the Speed Force, like, do we have every baseline we ever have a Speed Force?
It looks wild.
Yeah, it looks weird, wild, right? So it depends on your depiction of what you're doing with the Speed Force, right? I like that his mom's name was Nora too. It was part of it that was really like that they didn't decide to change. And it wasn't a movie. Back to your part about the Superman, because that's a great analysis of it, man. It just wasn't a movie that was going to try to like you say, like it made sense. And beyond, or like it was swamp, like all that might have been at play. They're like, let's not overthink this shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Yo, you gotta have a Superman.
Yeah, it's delivered, man.
You can't not. So that was the part, and I want to make sure I'm clear. That was the part about even if when you talk about what they want to do, when they was kind of explaining what they wanted to do with the Supergirl movie that they're going to do, they could start with, it's not going to be her, but like I could see her if she showed back up as that, and she started like kind of like that, like, hey, yo, she didn't have the same experience that this is like so if they did it with her, I'd be okay. But she, if she came back and like our universe reset and that's what it was, but she couldn't come back as the way the movie was going if they didn't do it right, because they had to do a whole different kind of movie where she was the being from Krypton. She has to be the second being from Krypton. Let's not play with that.
Yeah,
we can do a lot of other things with a lot of other situations. So let's not overthink it.
Yeah.
Let's not overthink it.
Yeah, and that's where
she has to be the second being from Krypton.
That's how it works with her.
She can't be the first being from Krypton, right? Like if we was gonna go forward and then we find a Superman, we pull him from. Now we doing too much, right? We doing too much. So like that was the beautiful part about that. And when you seeing, and then like you say, they just again, you explained it way better and eloquently, but like they did that part, and just Barry seeing all that, and him seeing like, I can't look, Barry, we destroying all this. This is out there.
But it's bigger than
what we're trying to do is annihilating all this. We have to stop. Mom has to die. That's the moment Bruce told me about. There's always like that intersection or whatever the correct term was, that like, these things has to happen. They did it in What If.
Fixed point.
It's a fixed point.
He told him that, bro. This is a fixed point. We can't.
Each
can't
Bruce
change
has
this.
an Alfred. Each such and such and this.
Yeah.
We cannot change this. We can't change this, man. We gotta let this go.
Oh, that was dope.
And we gotta let this go. Like him seeing all that shit happen, and like that being the thing that's bringing him to this moment. I'm like you, man. Like not that every movie that I see has to be something like wow me and make me see something that I'm not expecting. Right? Like I don't need, like you hey, blow me away, pause. Blow me away.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got you.
But like you owe it to me to that, like, like, oh nah, but like once we got into that moment, I was like, oh no, they about to do something. She didn't die and they about to go back. And once they died, like you say, once Bruce died the second time, it was never gonna be a situation where it was gonna be like this straight line thing. It couldn't be. They was gonna have to, and it wasn't in the moment. Now we knew he was gonna have to be like he gonna have to tell this Barry that they gotta let moms die, right? But how they gonna get there? That was just how you get there.
Yeah.
Just how you get there, and then like you say, all that stuff happening in the background, all those different worlds, and they actually collided. So now we starting to see like the Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of stuff. Like we seeing all that kind of stuff potentially taking place.
Yeah.
I just thought that was, and the way he acted, man, like it goes to the part why they needed him to do this, because they needed him to do that. Whether it's he the Flash in the future and they all gonna be gone.
Yeah.
They all gone.
Yeah.
Right. But for this movie,
he needed to do this.
He had to do this movie. And that's why, man.
I got you.
He had to do this movie, and he had to do this movie for that scene. Like you say, the stuff when him talking to himself, and because the one part about how he's emotionally showing this, but like shout out to him as young Barry becoming unhinged.
Yeah. But becoming unhinged,
progressively coming unhinged,
and then realizing, oh, that's me.
That's what I become.
And then becoming a hero by jumping in the way of that last, because he killed himself basically, right? Like he jumping away and gets stabbed
himself,
man.
Because think about how many times he like if you just go now, we get into the nerdy aspect of it. How many times Savitar, Dark Flash did that in that exact moment, man. And was that a time when he pushed him out? Was that the first time that he was ever close to like getting all the way back? Like how many times did we could really go, like how many times has he pushed a Barry out, right? Like that thing, but but when you think about it, like was that the closest one? Because he remember how many years ago, he
told him like I'm
almost like like I almost figured it out, but like that's the reason I pushed you out. Like they didn't even remembered it because that wasn't yesterday,
right?
That wasn't 2 days ago. That could have been hundreds of years, thousands of years that he pushed it back. Just when you take it to that, take it to that level. Like he was older, or maybe it was old him and it was yesterday, but like that was the closest one that had got back because he been trying.
That was dope, man. The idea of that, even though again we talked about it, the CGI, but I get that. I get people who are gonna criticize that. I get it. You can take off points for that, and that's why this isn't the greatest. But bro, the idea of that and the spirit and the audacity to make that a part of this story and to try to accomplish that and execute it the way they did, bro, that was dope. It's not perfect, but that was great, man. I like that because that could have just ended in a CGI fight between them, two Barrys against one.
Yeah.
And they could have like blasted them out or something, combined powers. Skybeam, typical superhero movie ended. But nah, man, it's ended in basically a conversation and then sacrifice.
Yeah, because even when the stuff started opening up, and there was part of me was looking like, okay, somebody.
Yeah, like here we go.
They go open up, and this is where Henry Cavill go make his guest appearance, and then mind you, I would have been hyped, but like this is where he come in, and the Justice League come to save the day, and they all could defeat this guy. Like the kind of like no, like no, they needed to have all three of them needed to have that moment.
Yeah, they needed to have this conversation, and
Because it was about
Youngberry
his
needed.
mom.
Yeah, Youngberry needed to see the consequences of his action. That hey, I can't keep going around like this because I become this thing.
Because think about it. Imagine being young and being able to do that. Why would you not try?
Yeah, right. Because he don't know, like he don't think of it as like he's not seeing the big picture. He's seeing it as again. It's like he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to make it so that nobody dies. He's not.
That's
trying
the
to,
that's the
he's
thing.
not
His
trying to
mom hadn't
destroy.
died yet. Right. His mom's
Right.
hadn't died yet.
Yeah.
His mom's alive.
He had a whole life with his mom.
He said, "Hey, you the one that made me a hero.
Yep.
I didn't ask to be this."
He told him that. Hey man, I was coming home from my dorm, man. You the one that took me up to the room and told me, you did this to me.
And now you telling me to stop? Like I could save them. Like they out there. And I can stop this from happening to them. And we talking about moms, but this is where it all started. Like I don't have anything else. This is the first day as a superhero, or second day probably, but this is my first week as a superhero or having this. And no, I haven't even learned. Hell, mom's still decorating my room. Remember, he was saying that, like, mom's decorating my room and stuff.
Yeah, he don't do his laundry and all that.
They got mom's do my laundry, like, and I'm not gonna try to reverse time. I can do it.
Man, I'm doing it. So, yeah, but it turns them into basically they call it Dark Flash, or whatever, Savitar. By the way, it's Savitar, bro. But by the way, like to do all this without Reverse Flash was also like, damn, I just really expected him to show up at some point, like
because that was a weird thing about it, like to not have Reverse Flash. The weird thing was, well, we're not gonna go to the part about who killed his moms.
We never get to that, and I guess
that.
they and that's where they stay true to the source material, which I think in the comic, I know in the movie, the animated movie, it's just a regular, some murderer who just murders his mom. Come home and I guess murders her.
But you just keep that as is, right?
We know in the show, and I actually watched the finale, which was wild. That last season.
This last season, I still got to watch.
Did you watch it? Oh man, it's wild. I ain't gonna spoil it, but I'm just gonna say we know in the show through previous seasons, Reverse Flash killed his mom. Eobard Thawne killed his mom, and it's even to the point where he has to let him do it again. He gotta let him do it. He told him like, "Hey man, let me do what I do, bro. Step out the way. You know what I got to do to fix all this," because he destroys the timeline by stopping it. That was dope. Shout out to CW Flash for that, because that was dope. Where you gotta damn, I gotta let you kill my mom because I know how big this is to the multiverse. We got a similar situation here, but it's like I gotta just let it happen, man, because it's bigger. If I don't do it, I'm gonna destroy everything. Everything. Look at these worlds that I ain't gonna never be a part of. And basically telling you he gonna destroy the DC, every DC movie.
So we got to get there.
Yeah.
So because I do have those kind of questions, because I don't know if I walked away from the movie feeling like that.
Right? Like how?
Maybe you can enlighten me. So then Barry goes back. So Barry does a damn thing, like you said. Young Barry gets it because Savitar about to do to Barry what Zod does to Kryptonians.
Yeah, you on my way. You on my way.
He about to hit him with some of that shrapnel, and Young Barry gets in the way, which eliminates them both because that's who it is. It's him who becomes that.
Yeah.
So they both dust away, right? He gives him back the little teddy bear, this was kind of little, he had to have like a little moment, a little monkey thing, whatever. You give him back that, like Moms gave us that. You take care of it, whatever. Barry got emotional about that early in the show, early in the movie.
Throw darts at monkey.
Yeah. So Barry go back, right? Barry go back. He see the note. He feel like he back in his regular area because he see the note from his mom's. I mean, from West, like, hey, look, you ain't come back. Maybe we can basically we can try this again or whatever. He like, cool. He go to court. Barry go back, but he go back to that fixed point. At that point, he changed everything. Yeah. He goes back to the grocery store.
Very touching moment.
Talk to his mom, right?
Nice little moment.
Yeah, and then I guess as part I kind of missed it. I blinked and I must have missed it, but he puts all the tomato soup and everything, the pizza, the spaghetti sauce at the top.
I didn't even see that. Yeah, you're right. I blinked, bro. I must have missed that because I didn't see that. I know it played out that I didn't see it. You're right. I didn't see that though. I just see that. I just remember that he changed clothes or whatever, and then he
must have put it at the top because that's what made his father when he come back and his father got the case. He's like, hey, we've been able to look at this film a little bit better, and his father looks up because he reached up for the spaghetti sauce. That's how I interpreted it. I think I saw something that said that, and I was like, I didn't really see that, and I must blink when he did that. But he, I seen him put it. I feel like I was there when he put it back, but he must have put it back and then put it like he just put him at the top, and that's why his father would look. Mm-hmm. So we come back, and he coming out of court, and he's being typical Barry, not knowing how to talk in front of people, all this and all that. Him and Ira West is like tight now and shit, right? Like she on his arm or whatever, even though she a journalist, but she other people interviewing him. So weird. That was weird, man. For me, man. I don't get that one. I just don't get it. But
I still, I don't
but know. I don't think it didn't matter to the movie. Nah, so whatever.
It wasn't
whether she was there or not, and like their love didn't matter. Nah. Even the crushed it. But father gets free, but we get to the end, and like Barry, Bruce texting him like, yeah, everything good, and yeah, we made it. Or maybe he was talking on the phone with him. It wasn't a text. I think they was talking on the phone. Bruce show up. Bruce get out the car. It's George Clooney.
I honestly forgot about that until you brought it up just now, bro. Oh my God. Now that was the one thing, bro. Oh man, that pulled me back, bro. You want to talk about like a little pause, a little bit of air coming out of my beneath my wings or whatever, or sails, whatever it was. Yeah, you took the wind out of my sails a little bit, man. They took the wind out of my sails a little bit, man, because I'm just watching that and I'm like, because I hear the voice and I'm like, that's not. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah, Barry, I'll be there in a minute.
You know where I thought I was going. You know where I was going. Yeah, I don't know if he was going to the second, because I was like, that's not his voice.
I was like, that's Bale.
I thought it was Bale.
I was like, yes. Bale came back, nigga. Oh my God. We got Bale back finally.
Hey man, the wind beneath my wings, man, was gone. Because I thought it was gonna be Bale. Because it was a different voice. I'm like, well, we gotta that's not Affleck. They really about to do this.
When Clooney jumped out of that car, bro.
I thought it could have been anybody, bro. If it wasn't Bale, I was sick.
It was so bad. It was almost like he even acknowledged it. Like, what are you talking about, Barry? Like, Barry was like, no. Like, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it was like
he was like, cussing everything.
Oh shit, no guy. And then his tooth came out, and I'm just kind of, oh man. Otherwise, movie I think I love. That part I hated. like I did not like that at all, man. I was like, that's my least favorite Batman ever.
It could have been Conroy. I know, rest in peace, he just passed away.
Yeah,
like it would have been him out.
You could have did a CGI. You did all the CGI. You couldn't get Conroy.
Conroy could have had that one.
You couldn't get. Oh man, Conroy would have been dope.
I just knew that was gonna be Bale, bro. Like when it was a different voice, I'm like, we going there. So, like I said, I'm with you. That it definitely was a. So I don't know if I'm like that because it wasn't Bale or the fact that it was Clooney. I got to reconcile that with myself. So this is the part
I know my answer. I don't like it because it was Clooney.
So
I hate Clooney Batman.
And another thing that put a little win, maybe it didn't do it for you, a little win on myself, was the post credit. Only from a simple fact that it was hella in the social media, like, yo, don't spoil the ending for people. And it's like, okay, so this is Flashpoint. So we already know how the movie gonna go in some way, shape, or form, right? Like unless you were just, and if you're a novice, super novice, like it don't mean nothing to you, like there's no spoil in it for you. But for like you and I, like we know Flashpoint is Flashpoint. The non-spoil in this is the resetting, the for real official resetting of the DCU, right? So I'm thinking this post-cred, like it's one post-cred. I knew this. Okay, cool. We about to sit here and go through this. And it was just silly, right? It was just Arthur being drunk and shit, and this, that, and the third, and falling in the water, and he said, yeah, and then that was it. So maybe it was something in there that I didn't get, but it was just like a post-credit just to have. I say all that to say, I don't know where, if I walk out the movie, other than them telling me that the DCU was new,
that's
that I really know that they really, like, it's Gal for real. Like, we gotta get what I'm saying. Like, I know it is. I know it is. But I don't know if the movie told me that, because then it's like, okay, what? It's Clooney Batman and Batman when we do you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how I know it's not. You're right.
If we go to Batman, what's the name? Because the director is doing, you told me that, and then I saw it started popping up in my timeline that the director of this movie is going to be the director of Batman and Beyond, right? And it's like, I know it's not going to be Clooney, right? But something else going to happen for a reset. Is Perry gonna run again? Like, let me try this one more time.
No, I think
that's why I don't know if I walked away, and then maybe I missed it. I didn't walk away other than the fact that because James Gunn tells me every 20 seconds that the DCU gonna be new. Yeah. That if I know fully, like, hey, is Gal not there? Is Ezra? Is he not Barry Allen? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I know that now? That's and I don't know if I don't know if I know that. I know I'm going long, but no, I don't know if the movie told me that.
To me, I look at it slightly different. I think I agree with you that the movie didn't tell me, but the movie told me without telling me. When I saw Clooney, I was like, oh, it's over. I was like, it's over. Like this universe is done. They're not going to continue forward in Clooney's Batman. That's not going to happen. He older than Bruce. He older than Ben Affleck. There's no way he can fix that. He's not going to run back again and move something. You know, like he can't correct this. So they told me without telling me, oh no, this universe is done. And this is our way of putting a bow on it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here all these years. I hope you enjoyed it. But there's no way we're going forward where Clooney's going to jump out of it. No, he's not Batman. But you're right. They didn't definitively say, even they had a chance in the post credit to say like a portal could have opened up, anything could happen. With him walking out of the restaurant drunk, portal could have opened up and they'd be like, or he'd be like, or like stuff start resetting or something, and he like, oh, it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, delayed kind of like timeline sweep. Because there's one more movie, and I think pretty sure Ben Affleck is in that Aquaman movie.
Oh man, that's a good point. How the hell is he gonna be in that, bro? when did that take place? Did that already happen? Did that happen before?
Because remember, it was supposed to come out before this movie,
and this is where we kind of.
It was supposed to come out before this movie, a long time before this. I think this movie was supposed to come out 8 times, but Aquaman was supposed to come out. What do we call this movie? Aquaman 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
You said Ben Affleck is in this one, though.
Yeah, Affleck and Aquaman.
Oh man.
He probably got the same kind of role doing this shit.
It's like, it gotta take
that place. Mean Gal gonna be in it?
Yeah, it gotta take place before the Flash movie. I mean, they reset the universe. Or Barry is in a paradox or like a divergent universe or whatever. Like he's in another universe where it's like not whatever the number was for this one, it's like slightly one number different. Whatever. But
99 now it's
like Earth 1997 or something. Yeah. But for them to put Clooney up in there, man, it's just like, yeah, that's just what them telling me without telling me. But you're right, man. It's not the end. We got one more movie to go. All of them are in it, except I think for Flash and like Cyborg done. They ain't gonna put him in nothing.
Yeah, Cavill ain't in it.
Yeah, Cavill
get that out of here.
He can't get it done.
But I would now. I'm like, why wouldn't Flash not make it a, even if it's just him as whatever, just show up and then just be in it for a quick just cameo, like Gal getting her last little checks. This Gal showing up in everything that she was in before as a nod. I think she was in the Fast and Furious and all this and all that. Yeah, she in this. Mm-hmm. She already filmed her scene. She gonna be in Aquaman, even if it ain't but number 20 seconds and her with some little ass shorts on. She in it. I don't know that.
That's a good point though that you brought that up, man. The movie didn't tell us, and it's not what we thought it was gonna be overall. Like it's not the movie we thought this was gonna be like, oh, this the reset button.
That's what they told us.
Because that's what Flashpoint was in the comics and the animated movie. Literally for the animated universe, this is where New 52 begins. This is how they reset the universe. We didn't even get that in this. We don't get a reset. We just got a.
That's the part, though, Manny. That's what they told us.
That's what they told us.
You're not even making that up.
You're like, yeah. It's like, no, this is it. No, it's not. Because we walked out of this. I can't point to one scene in the movie where we're like, that's it. Yeah, this is a new universe. Brave and the Bold is coming.
Was they scared to tell us like, yo, just it? Like we all know it's it, but like don't tell us that it's a reset. It like this it, and like those worlds collide. We got like it's over. Like meaning like
this
you told us the movie was gonna tell us that. You're not telling me that the studio telling us that. This is a studio telling us that, which is okay, right? I just don't. I didn't feel like I walked out that movie with a looked at the thing. Like, and I thought when those worlds was colliding, I was like, oh no, they about to do this for real. I actually thought that would have been super. I mean, it would have been like we about to just end all this and like everything that everyone knew and like it's over.
Now that's over. That's the question I would ask you. Is my bad to cut you off?
No.
That's the question I would ask you. Going to that scene. before I skip way ahead, going back now, was that what that was? Like, it's just
maybe
the fact.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
They acknowledging that it's different worlds. And even if, and then maybe if we go back and we watch that scene 100 times and we start slowing it down, like New Rock Stars or whatever, heavy spoiler, them guys, where you start maybe off in the distance, it's the Brave and the Bold and the Superman Legacy world out there whirling around. Maybe that's out. Maybe James Gunn's world is out there,
and maybe it's just from a part that's taking it too far because like we know a couple of things, right? There's two things we know for sure. Because we don't. No one's. They never even said yet that Gal's not Wonder Woman. They haven't said yet that
Flash is not.
My guy's not Aquaman.
Yeah,
Momoa, and they haven't said that Ezra's not the Flash. They haven't. But two things we knew. We knew Henry wasn't gonna be Batman no more. They told us that.
You start wondering now, yeah.
And they told us that Henry.
How much was that?
Chance they get.
How much was that? Yeah. How much was that? Was just him getting fired? Probably. How much was that? Was just him? Just Henry publicity wise? Yeah. Us just them just telling us that they're not working with Henry no more. Because you're right. You're right. They never went into this whole. They didn't even recast Batman. I mean, they did, but they didn't like. They didn't really go out of their way to say, "Oh, Ben Affleck, this is gonna be the new Bat. Like we're gonna have a new Batman."
And it's actually usually just Affleck saying that shit.
Yeah, it was Affleck just saying like, "No, I'm done after this."
But cool.
But
God, he's so dope at that, man.
You're right, man. But
it could be just that. Like we don't know. I guess until they say I guess when they tell us like assumptions. But I just felt like I assumed, and I could be totally wrong, but I assumed I was gonna walk out that movie definitively knowing that, because they told it ain't like the multiverse. I know we always reference that in terms of like predictions, where like, oh, this about to happen, and this is going to change everything, and it never did, and it wasn't supposed to. But they told us that the Flash, and maybe that moment is there, right there, like this is us telling you, like all those worlds got.
I think
there was a couple worlds that got destroyed.
That's the only thing I can take from you, right?
Like that was the one. Like that's the one. We just visually telling you that, like at any given moment of time, we may have a crossover event at one time. We're not telling you because we still like Ezra Miller.
God, I need to watch that scene again.
We still like Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
we still like Gal Gadot. Like any moment of time, we can pull, just like we can pull. I think she's still alive. She was in Wonder Woman 82. Linda, the OG Wonder Woman. Was she in that little? I need to go back to the movie, man.
That's what I'm saying. I need
that scene because was she in there? Did she do the spin?
She might have been, bro. I was so fixated on Clark Kent or Christopher Reeves and
Reeves that did
and Nicolas Cage that I kind of like missed a bunch of that other stuff. I was so like,
she do it because I remember being a Flash, and now I feel like she did the spin.
She probably was in there. Because that Jay Garrick universe is like the Justice Society of America, where they all in World War II or whatever.
Yeah.
So
they could pull them at any time.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do that. Like that's probably, and it's probably, I don't know. They just not gonna do that at that time. And like we can pull them at any time to be. Hell, they haven't even told us that Steve Rogers is dead yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you get what I'm saying? Like so like even old Steve. So like with this right here, like it could be just a situation like, well, we know a couple people, but they could pull him anytime. But like those worlds collided, and us seeing like you see with Clooney there that Affleck gone. We knew he was gone, but he gone. We told y'all every chance we got, Henry up out of here.
Yeah,
right. We ain't even showing him in the other stuff, right? So that's cool. Victor was never coming back.
Nah,
right. We'll get a new one of him. We cool.
Yeah.
But all that. So like I said, maybe I kind of thought that I was gonna leave, and then when they went to the part where they like, hey, no spoilers. I was like, well, this is not really a spoiler. Like I walk out of it now. It's not like that's nothing like that's not a spoiler movie, right?
Not
really a spoiler movie, just from the nature of what the movie was. Mind you, I'd be salty if somebody said. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I wouldn't be salty if somebody said something, but like. The way they were kind of coming out about it, it was like, yeah, y'all act like there's no way home. Like,
yeah.
Maybe the cameo aspect of it is what they were.
Yeah, like Superman wasn't. Yeah, Christopher Reeves in there,
right? Because that was pretty dope. There's a couple of things now. Now let me go from the roof a little bit.
Yeah.
They need a new trailer person at DC because some of that stuff they should have kept. Like it didn't need some of that stuff wasn't even really needed in the trailer. Would have been doper in the movie had they not. Hell, even his line about like let's get want to get nuts pause. Like that might have been better if I just seen it in the movie. Them pulling the Batmobile. Like I like how they referenced it at first, but then them fully pulling it off in the trailer. Pause on pulling it out. Would have been dope. It was a couple other scenes. I was like, man, they shouldn't have put that in the damn because it didn't really turn the trailer up. But
yeah.
I like to had seen that first in the movies, not in the trailer. It was something else that I had pinned. Like I got to go see the movie again that I had earmarked. I wish they wouldn't have put this in the trailer because it didn't really set the trailer. It wasn't like a trailer thing, but in the movie, it was popping.
Yeah.
Right, it was a pop, but they did save some things. I'm not going to totally get on it like that. There were things saved, and that whole, like I said, the movie, that whole, and I probably was like sitting like that. Now that I think about it, I think I felt less concerned about it once we went into the Speed Force. That moment, because like if everything was what it was up until Kara died, because that's when it changes, right? When Kara dies, like, oh, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. It was
based on like how people been doing movies recently, like that's not supposed to happen, right? Oh no. Oh, y'all about to kill Michael Keaton? Y'all about to kill Bats?
Twice. Y'all did it twice.
Like, he didn't even looking at it like Doomsday was doing things, and
he couldn't all them
like, oh, he about to die. Yeah. Oh man, so like once
first time we really seen Batman die too, bro. Like we know,
and I probably felt like I felt up until that moment. I had my trailer bullet. Like, man, they shouldn't have put on that shit in the trailer, but then they saved that whole thing. So I guess I'm hating by saying, let me think about it. Maybe I need to chill. But overall, man, like I walked out. I instantly understood that, like, yo, this is not a movie. This, and I want to say this clear. This is not a movie that took itself seriously, but it wasn't like Black Adam didn't take itself seriously like that. That was just a bad movie. This one, there's some of the things, if I was going to complain about it, I'd be missing the point of the movie. I walked out of that like, man, this goes in the Pantheon. Like this is one of the ones, like you always
got it up there.
Am I grabbing it? Am I getting the disc? Is it going into the archives?
I'm getting, yeah.
I'm just going into the archives, and it's going to the archives.
Yeah, I need that 4K.
I need that.
I need that.
That's a movie that I can say a couple more times of watching. There's things in there that we missed.
It's gonna be a movie that's gonna age well, I think, even with the bad CGI. But I'm with you, man. I walked out and I was like, damn. I was like, and I started thinking about Black Adam. And I was like, the thing about Black Adam is it wasn't nowhere near as enjoyable as this. Like Black Adam was a kind of a slog to get through. You know what I mean? Like you like, I just kind of want this to be over. And I haven't went back and watched it all the way through yet. And I'm not. This was different, man. This was so enjoyable off the strength of Ezra's performance and just like the ideas that were introduced here and how they were executed. Just the little things they was just pulling off, man. And then seeing Batman 89 again, bro, was just we got a lot of Batman in this movie. We got Ben Affleck's Batman, then we get Michael Keaton's. Hey man, I was like, this was just so damn enjoyable, bro. Like this whole experience, like this was like the most enjoyable Snyderverse movie. It don't take itself too serious. It's not too dark. It's a lot of comedy in it. That's something that they always complained about the Snyderverse. We had a lot of comedy in this one. And it just had some dope ideas that we were able to just like see come to fruition where you just like, man, like the multiverse exists. For me, that's like a big thing. It's one of the things we talked about in previous videos. Like, man, y'all need to acknowledge this and show people this and put this out front. And we said over text, like, man, you made a good point. You was like, hey man, they got a lot to deal, they got a lot to live up to because Across the Spider-Verse just dropped. That shit was just incredible, you know what I mean? And it was actually the company or the studio who doing the multiverse, because everybody on multiverse right now. All three studios are on multiverse. The studio that's doing it the best is Sony, better than the MCU. Yeah. Where they actually make their multiverse interesting and they let you know it, like you said, I want to steal your line, it matters.
It matters.
It matters. I walked out of this movie Like, finally, it matters.
Bro,
Y'all showed me the
explain it.
multiverse. No, so
Explain it, make it make sense.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. That's it.
How good are making it make sense, right? Because there's so many, like the people that everybody's going to, especially now, like there's so much information we have different. Even if we don't watch every one of your movies, read all your comics, watch all your TV shows, right? We still getting enough. We could just go to Wiki and go get some info. We go to Wiki and go get the information, the whole rundown. Or do we know somebody, like many people come to me, I know mad people come to you, I come to you because you know way more than me about the stuff. And you can get a quick rundown, like, okay, cool, I'm caught up. Let's go in, right? And it's like, so just how well can you explain it and make it make sense? Like, again, we're gonna talk about Spider, we're gonna talk about Sony, right? But like, I walked out of here between what Bruce said, first Bruce, the second Bruce put the spaghetti down. I'm like, okay, we good. And then
We good.
Showed it to me.
Yep.
So he
and then you showed me.
spaghetti.
Yep.
Right?
Hey, different strands. Some of them similar, some of them different. But
Everybody think I know the MCU told you this. I know the MCU had this little shit out in the thing, and they had this shit in the lines and all that. Even Sonyverse sunk that shit like, and then this fucking Earth 99, Earth whatever they had in the MCU. It's Earth 62. Was it 562? Whatever it is. This Earth 62 Spider-Man that did some shit with Doctor Strange. They kind of like, man, he did some bullshit over there. Like, this is how it really is, right? This is how it really is, right? And it's like, but in this movie right here, they explained it. They, like I said, exposition, right? They explained it and then they showed it to me. They PowerPointed it for me, like, oh, okay, yeah,
I get it. Yeah,
okay.
y'all do need to say, y'all do need to take care of it.
And you seeing it, you're not just saying like, okay, I gotta pick a highway. It was like, okay, that one right there. That's the scenario. Let's go there. This is how I see the multiverse, right? I'm seeing these different, all these scenarios that if this happened, if I do this, they're going, and they ain't even breaking it down. Like if I pick up this pencil, if I drop this coin, no, whole butterfly effect thing. We just seeing it individual. Okay. There she go right there. Let's go on that one right there. Boom. We try all the options. This is this. It's not some quick branch. It's not this. It's all over the place, but it made sense. Like you say, they did a good job. I like that because the MCU is definitely not doing it.
They still be right. They haven't explained why it matters, and like they haven't explained why should the multiverse be saved? That's something that
why we in a saga?